Hey everyone, it is Christy, and welcome to D&D with R&D. And I'm going to turn on the sound for my players now. I was muting them until I was ready. Yeah, and we're going to try to piece together. How long has it been? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah. We know there was fights. I remember drawing fire. But yeah, Micro, if you want to make the effort, let's see what you got.
I remember shipping stuff.
That doesn't narrow it down.
No. Yeah.
So last time, we having come to this temple of Kronos to hopefully go back in time to save Felix's mom.
Mm-hmm.
We found the place full of plants.
Bush dragon.
And a plant dragon.
Yes.
And we fought them and we killed them. And then when we have killed them,
there's robot buddies trying
Claire
to kill us.
robots turned on us. And there was a
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a very nice intimate moment between Claire and Itzley. And then we killed the robots. She just sat
on the steps and watched us kill her robots. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Well, I think the implication was that it was not. She didn't have control over them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said that the robots were used to control her from the king.
Yeah,
like the evil king, not the one we're working for.
Well, they're more like spies, but yes, she explained it to you. They're there to spy on her.
It's the same thing.
They were made by Maxim, the one who not entrapped you, set you guys up for Rio.
Yes.
We'll set Felix up.
Yeah, we're still.
I forget. There's Felix, just Felix at this point.
Yeah, we're
everyone
still
else is dead.
Dealing with the fallout of our long gone party member.
In other words, if Felix dies, then.
No,
you'll have really no reason to continue this.
Yeah, we should just all bail and leave Felix on her own. No, we're not going to do it.
No, R&D, we do have a reason to continue. And it's the ship.
The ship.
Well, also the world ending.
Oh, yes. That's it.
That seems like a... Yeah, it turns out the world is going to end, so that's... Because
Year
time
two?
is going to...
Year two?
Well...
Time is going to disappear.
It's not less of the world ending, more like time is running out in a very literal sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Time
Not in a
will not
figurative
exist
sense.
anymore.
Like the future doesn't exist.
The future only exists
Yeah, only 2
weeks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
only
Right.
2 weeks of the future exist.
Now I've got that 60s song. Time has come today. Dun, 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 dun. Time. Time. Dang it.
It's better than the song I got stuck in my head from that.
Yeah, is that kind of what are we missing,
I
R&D?
think that was it.
Only because it's been 2 weeks, and I want to remind you all of things. And you have Claire here anyway to
Yeah.
tell you these things.
Yes.
The last thing I remember is Esli crawled up on top of her, like,
What?
Not on top of
Crawled
Claire.
up on top of her what?
yes, no, what's it called? The little cart on top
Oh yeah,
of
the
her
carts.
cart,
Yeah.
and she fell asleep
Mhm.
to get her whole rest.
Yes, I do have full hit points and all my spells back, so we
Yes,
must have
yes,
long
Yes.
rested.
It was like the middle of the day when you guys arrived.
Yeah, and we fought.
Like
and then we
arrived,
took a
but it
long
was
rest.
you'd already spent like a whole day doing shit, and then you arrived in the middle of the day, so you're a little jet lagged.
Okay.
Mhm.
We're so jet.
But the other big thing that Claire informed you, Claire and Felix have made a deal to work together, so that in exchange for saving Felix's mom, I'm guessing the rest of the party, because Felix is kind of your de facto leader, is going to help save Claire's mom.
Yes.
It's the saving of the moms.
Her adopted mom from her past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But because Claire's from the future.
Claire is from the future.
The future.
The future.
What if
And
Claire
yes.
is the daughter of Felix? Dun dun dun.
Well,
Oh,
in that case,
shit.
I guess the deep gnome bloodline has been severely.
Yes.
Well, maybe
Well,
adoptive mom, like.
She's
Anyway.
double adopted.
Mhm. Hello. Sorry, gotta say hi to the wife. Not really, not yet. I'm not hungry. Thank you. Will do. And so you made a deal. Felix made a deal to
Yes.
help out. Oh yes, and it turns out that Claire's mom, or her adopted mom, is what's her name? Alia?
Married to a cat.
Alia. Oh, I forgot her name.
It's literally on the screen in the notes.
Is it, I'm not even in roll 20. That's great. I love that I'm not even in roll 20.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Where's our
Maybe
DM?
I should be in roll 20, huh?
He's here
Alia,
to run
who
the game.
is the
Oh no! It appears that I have rolled on that 20 for this.
No.
so behind on
You
everything.
other guys can confirm that, right?
Oh yeah, totally. It's a lot of nat 20s.
It's statistically possible.
Yes. So yes, Alia is also the elf lady that
Yes.
Scraggs killed.
And Persimmon is weirdly in love with.
Yes, and Persimmon is the Kronos cat god thing
Yes.
that
Mhm.
wants Scraggs.
Oh, and it turns out that the reason why the Modrons were here is probably because Primus has figured out that, hey, something's fucked up here. Let's find out. So
And Primus is the god of order. So
Yes.
something
Alright.
is not out of order. So the Modrons are out trying to figure out what is out of order.
Okay.
So many things. There's so many things out of order.
A lot of things got you had a lot of exposition.
First of all,
If-
there's an
if-
illegitimate king.
if we were a bigger
Mhm.
show, there would be we would have fans drawing like timelines of this, like jumping all over the place.
This is
we
this is the most convoluted timeline. Also, you all have time traveled, so you don't know where or when and to yet.
That's true.
Yes.
Not yet. We're waiting for nighttime,
Mm-hmm.
which is why Esteli went to sleep.
Well, if you time travel, we know where. You don't
So
travel
when?
through space. When you time travel, you only travel through time. Otherwise, it's space time travel.
Wow. Well,
Unless
so
you
far
count-
you know that you used to be underground, and now you saw like a whole lot of sunlight going into your
Yeah,
temple.
it's called an overhead window.
Mm-hmm.
Sunroof.
Yeah.
Sunroof. An underground sunroof from the borders of the Underdark. You have made it to the surface in less than 3 hours.
It's a very, very steep one.
All right. So we've
But
got
yes,
some. Do we have some time to kill, or because otherwise Preet's going to read some of her book too? If we still have time.
I think
to kill.
everyone kind of wanted to take a long rest because you're all jet lagged. It is the middle of the afternoon, but Claire has let you know that she doesn't know where you are or when you are, and she can't figure that out until she can look at the stars. That's really her,
okay.
She needs. That's how she's going to figure out when, and where you are. So you have time until nightfall, and I think most of you had decided you were just going to take a long rest.
Yep.
Yes.
To kind of get over your jet lag and whatnot. So you have a lot of downtime to just
spells.
kind of reset spells to kind of get all that. Oh yeah, I also forgot. Gosh, what are your names? Preet. Preet finally discovered what her
my bracelet does.
True.
It opens a magic door to the time thing.
and
Time door.
And
it has an
it does
actual
one under the thing.
combat thing.
Once a day I can choose to just pass a failed saving throw.
oh, and for everyone else, it looks like you rewind time and get to do it all over again.
Yeah,
And you know how to do it, so you tend to pass. You can pass them.
It's
So
very
she's
much like
Tracer from Overwatch.
no, it's like Doctor Strange.
Yes.
No. It is like Doctor Strange. It's like the
you're tracing.
like the bracelet goes on and off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I pictured it anyway.
Yeah, so Preet has the
Crazy.
ability to reverse time for a slight bit, and make and pass her saving throws. One
You're
saving
all-
throw a day.
Yeah.
You're all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, everything's just. I think so far the only one who didn't see you do that would have been Horatio.
I would totally be in a David Tennant, Benedict Cumberbatch sandwich. The
Yes.
two Time Lords.
They are the most attractive ones.
They
That's
quite are. But anyway, sorry, you were saying?
No, so Horatio. Actually,
I got
Horatio.
distracted.
Worthy people.
By sexy time lords.
Yeah.
Sexy time lights. Tiago,
like
Bruno, and
1,000
Horatio
years
didn't
old.
actually see the time warpy bits. They only saw you pass the saving throw pretty much.
Okay.
Etsley and Felix actually saw the time warp thing happen.
Let's do the time warp again.
Yeah.
And obviously Preet.
Back time.
It's a step to the
What
left.
other songs do we know about time?
And then time after time.
So yeah, you
If I could save time in a bottle.
Time. What is it good for?
absolutely. So yeah, right now you have plenty of free times.
Okay.
Everyone's just kind of chilling. So if you want to do whatever you want to do to chill for the next
Yeah.
for however many hours you want to chill, you can
This
do
is,
that.
I'm gonna be reading my book because I still am working on my ability thing.
Yes.
The book that I inherited from somebody who chose dexterity, which I don't really need. But hey, you can always use.
It's a free
dexterity.
level up. It's
Yeah,
a free.
exactly.
I'm gonna do my best to try and remember as much as I can about chronomancy from whatever little I might have read.
Whatever you can about chronomancy. Okay, so
Yes.
First of all,
Preet,
sorry.
you can write down.
Yeah, how many hours do I get?
So it's around noon right now. So I don't. You
Okay.
get to I don't know
We'll see.
how late you all want to go to bed or stay up or whatnot. It's like it sounded like people just wanted to chill. So really a lot, I guess, depending on when you want to go to bed.
I need a long rest, and as it's noon and we have to wait till nighttime. So nighttime could be 4:30, depending on the sun sets, or it could be like 11 o'clock at night if it's sort of summerish.
Yeah, you don't really know, and like you
Okay.
don't really know where you are. You know that it's noon because the sun is straight above you, so you know it's you can assume it's fairly noonish because of that.
Well, if the sun is straight above us, then it means we're at the equator.
Not directly, like it's at the zenith, I should say.
Oh, okay.
Like not directly above you, but it's obviously like at its zenith highest
For
point.
the day. Okay, well,
Okay.
she'll get her 8 hours in, and then I guess she'll start reading until it's too dark to read. Gets up.
Okay. I will do some math for that.
Yeah, you don't have to do it right away. Just
in a second. So okay, and then Horatio, you can roll an Arcana to see how much you kind of remember about.
Remember, I only need 6 hours of sleep, so I have extra time to do it.
You have extra time to do it. Okay, so you kind of just want to do kind of research. So this is
yes, I will.
This is less of a. Well, let me sit here and think about it for once. More like I'm going to sit here and
like really
your notes and stuff.
Yeah, like anything I can glean, I can remember, because obviously chronomancy is not my field, but I might know a little. Like, let's see, Arcana. Oh, that's not good.
Okay, yeah, I mean that is the thing. Chronomancy is not your thing, so it's not like you have plenty of notes on biology, how to revivify creatures, and a lot of notes on those kinds of sciences, like the biological ones.
That's the only notes I took with me.
Yeah, so those were the notes you took with you. You do know that just from being a magic user and somebody who knows the arcane, that it's relatively like forbidden to do chronomancy because it tends to fuck with the time-space continuum. And so you know that it's not something that is like, you can't go to chronomancy college. Like, it is not something that you just learn at any old school, like wizarding school.
Okay, so
it's some underground stuff.
It's not a taboo one like my own specialty. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. Yeah, and even compared to yours, it's a little bit more taboo. Like there's still people on your plane who can obviously do necromancy and perform necromancy, and who do it. And there's mortals who do it.
Even
chronomancy is like, you'd have to probably, like, if you wanted to learn about it, it's probably not on the material plane that you would ever learn about it. Besides a few little things.
Okay.
It is big boy magic for sure. Like,
it's on the chronological plane.
Yeah. So so if you want to learn about it, it ain't gonna be in the material plane that you find anything too substantial.
Now, at least whatever I know is mostly fresh in my mind. So like I can better work out a possible solution.
Yes.
Once I have more info. Yes.
All right. What does Etzli want to do?
Well, I guess after Etzli is sleeping, she does want to ask Claire why she casted haste on her and then did nothing for the rest of the time.
You sit and talk to Claire. Has mostly been she picked up the 2 rubies that were the cores of her robot things and has put them away. Otherwise, she seems to be mostly reading through books. She brings out that pocket watch thing that you saw her take out earlier, and you see her kind of furiously take notes on all the stuff that's going on. And when you ask her, she just kind of explains to you that, kind of reiterates that the 0 and 1, those are the robots' names, were there as spies. So that is their job. If she had, they retain their memories. So even now that they're dead, they'll retain their memories going if they ever get rebuilt. Which they probably will. She can't just lose them. They're incredibly valuable, and if she shows up to Maxim without them, they will be held to pay. So she can't just show up with nothing. She has to bring back the cores. And when he rebuilds them, kind of like how Chomper got rebuilt, they will have the memories of their previous iteration. And so if he goes through these memories and sees that she was helping you kill them, she's going to lose any and all credibility to be able to work, be able to do anything with him. And she's trying to keep her credibility because that's part of her job as kind of, Persimmon is like a dad to her. That's a lot of air quotes around that.
Cat dad. New definition for cat dad.
Yeah, like it's he did raise her.
Mm-hmm.
it away.
Dad.
But so she does she does her bidding. She obviously doesn't like him, and wants to kill him and free her mother. But she still kind of works for him. So she needs to stay on his good side too, because she's worried that anything that she might do to upset Persimmon will lead to potentially either harm coming to her mom or her not being able to like see her mom or rescue her mom. So she's just being very cautious, which is why she didn't. It'd be easier to explain why she didn't do anything than it would be to explain that she attacked 0 and 1. Even as is, she's going to have to come up with a hell of a story as to why she's coming back with 0 and 1 dead, but not you all dead.
We do have an artificer. Maybe we can modify their memories.
Potentially, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
She does. She said she'll tell you that potentially, but she doesn't know. She's not. She knows nothing about constructs and how they work or how to.
I'll have to wait till Chrissy gets here, because that is a possibility.
Yeah, she's a sorceress, so she's her magic comes from being exposed to the time gate. So she gets her chronomancy that way. It doesn't come from learning shit. So yes, Felix might be able to change the memory, but that's a problem for when Felix is here.
Yes, I just wanted to bring it up so we all remember.
As if we could forget her.
I'm
I'm kidding.
Never.
We can't forget Mama Felix.
Our leader.
Not her. The point about modifying.
Oh, about modifying the robots. Yeah. Anything else you want to ask Claire while you're here? You do notice, like, now that you're talking to her, she's
fixed the problem.
What?
Could we? If we can't go forward in time because there's like in 2 weeks it ends.
Oh no, here he goes.
But could we, if we go back in time and prevent Scrags from killing your mom?
What was the Scrags? Who was the baddie?
That would solve the problem, surely.
Okay. The problem is you'd have to find the time gate again. You don't know where it is. You don't even know where it was the first time that Felix was there.
Oh. This place can't take us back in time.
We are. She looks at you like we already are back in time. I just don't know when.
Or where, for that matter.
Yes. It's not that we could maybe do that. The time gate is a demiplane. It's not part of the material world. It sits in a little pocket within it. And it moves around everywhere in the Underdark. There's no where you came into it is not where you might come out of it. It's really hard to find. I know how to find it, and she kind of points to her pocket watch. Thanks to my mom's research, but it would be it would be dangerous.
Well, that was weird.
Well, I just wanted to ask to make sure in case the possibility showed up.
We can only change so much of the past before somebody gets very nosy about it. There are these things called time elementals whose sole purpose is to fix time. If we were, for example, tried to find you 3 months, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and try to kill you so that you would never be able to travel back in time in the first place, these time elementals would appear and make sure that that didn't happen.
Time elementals. That sounds scary.
They are. They can,
Well,
not just suck the life out of you, but suck the time out of you.
the previous party has encountered them.
The previous party is a lot older because they encountered them.
Yeah. Well,
I think a
members.
couple of them aged like 10 years.
Well, one of them isn't. One of them isn't was practically immune to it at that time. So
It's kind of like the weeping angels from Doctor Who.
well, they send you back in time.
Yeah, these are more
That's
like.
true. But that's still technically stealing time.
No, they will aid you and make sure that you never get an opportunity to rewrite time to such a degree that it might put the timeline in danger.
Well, this would be fixing the timeline because none of all the time
in our
Wuhan would
opinion,
happen.
that's a subjective assessment.
Mm-hmm.
They might think it's supposed to go another way.
Well, one paradox is surely better than another paradoxes, and time disappearing.
Well, if you meet a time elemental, try it out on them. See if you can reason them out of not sucking all of the time you have left.
Hey guys, can I make a deal with you?
Ask them a
I
question.
don't know.
before
Maybe they're intelligent. They've been a lot. They have access to all time, so who knows?
It's a decent assumption.
All right.
Any other questions for?
Preet's doing weird yoga stances while she's smoking. It looks really strange. She's not Shavaris. She's like doing, like looking for ale in between sessions, chapters.
Stretching very close to Claire.
Yeah. Doing
comes out in her sports bra and yoga pants.
Who knew twerking was a yoga move?
Esley's gonna be amused and like give Pri a thumbs up.
Yes, the D&D sports bra with those medieval elastics. Yes.
All right. Well, if no one else has any real questions for Preet, or not for Preet, for Claire, let me do.
Not at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So, how long do you all want to stay here? Well, okay. It'll be about 12 hours before Claire really knows.
Okay.
Gives you any information, so it'll be around midnight.
All right. So minus, let's say 8 hours, so 4 hours of reading.
Okay. And then you still have like the rest of the night if you want to, but for now, yes, 4 hours of reading.
Okay.
Oh, and if we have more time than that, how much time would I roughly have spent looking, like seeing how much I know about chronomancy?
Going through all your notes and stuff, and with an 11, probably like 2 hours. So you have plenty of time.
Okay. I'm gonna have another crack at studying the soul, studying the ring of mind shielding, because I know
Bruno's ring of mind shielding.
I know there's something in there.
There's something in there.
There's something.
Do you have identify? You don't have identify, do you?
I do. I do have identify. I could cast it, but that's not gonna really help. That's just gonna tell me what it does, which I already know.
Okay. Yes.
What I'm trying to figure out is the more like intricate arcane nature of its soul storing property, because I want to I'm aiming for phylactery at the end. Mm-hmm. That's the long-term goal.
Okay.
Well, Arcana,
roll an Arcana and see what you get.
16. I think that's the best of the rolls I've had
so far. I think when trying to figure out what this thing does or how this thing works. So with a 16, you're starting to. I think last time you kind of had like a list of potential ingredients that you might need. But it was really long. You're like, oh, this might be able to do this. This kind of gem might be able to help me, you kind of narrowed it down, and you were able to eliminate a few of them, and like, you know, this one kind of onyx isn't going to work, where we need something else. So you do kind of at least refine your list of things that you're going to need. It still seems to you like a really long list, which it probably is going to be anyway to make a phylactery.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it probably is going to be a really long list of things that you need to do, but you feel more confident about like eliminating a few things. Or like, at first I thought this thing would help me, but it actually really isn't going to be all that helpful.
Well, it's something.
Okie dokie.
Just on a meta level, I want to just compliment past Christy for keeping future Christy shit organized. Because I see on my bio section, I wrote myself this note, and it's reminders, and it's like my details on my cloak of displacement and my telepathic insight, and then there's all this bonus actions : and all of my bonus actions, and then reactions : and all of my reactions.
Nice. Nice. That is good.
So she wasn't gonna, like, future Christy wasn't gonna remember that shit. So like past Christy, like, I got you.
I think when my
past Christy.
When my wife played with us, I made her like a little flow chart of like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Yep. Like, if you get attacked, this is what you do. If you want to do this is what you do. These are the spells you need.
I actually think that's super helpful for earlier players, because they could be overwhelmed by choices and what's right to do.
I'm still like, I am like being dumped in as like level 11 as a wizard. It was quite a
oh yeah, you have so many things that you can do.
Yeah, especially if you build from scratch and you don't just like go with a pre-build that someone else already worked out, and you just fine tune.
Yeah, you haven't had months of practice with it. You're like,
I know.
Okay, anyway, sorry, I just
no, it's fine.
All right,
that's also part of the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all here for shouting out past Christy.
It's true. Way to go, past Christy.
Past Christy.
Yep.
High five to past Christy.
Oh, I can't touch her. Thank you.
You're gonna have to go back in time.
I know.
Yeah.
Go get Kronos, my mojo.
Quick, use your bracelet.
So with your 12 hours of sitting around, once it gets dark, relatively, it's probably like 8 o'clock-ish is when it starts to get dark. And as soon as the sun starts to set and the stars start to come out, Claire starts to furiously take notes. She takes out a sextant, which is one of those things that measures angles, far distant angles, and consistently looks at her pocket watch, and just, you can see formulas to start to be start to form on the blank pieces of paper she had before, till eventually she has written down a date. And there's, I don't even know what kind of system it would be, but it's a system that was similar to like our coordinate system on Earth, where you would have like north and south and lateral or latitude and longitude. She comes out with a couple of numbers like that as well, which probably none of you could read or understand what they really mean, because I don't think it's if nothing else, Horatio, since I think he picked up on it earlier, it is a system that doesn't exist yet, and it's part of that, like, oh, this is probably some of that advanced future shit that yeah, because there is no such, like, in current time.
I don't know what you're doing, but like yoga or something.
I'm searching for my headphone plug-in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if like in this current time, like at this current time, there isn't a worldwide longitude latitude system.
It's
that would do this.
It's landmark navigation still.
Yeah, it hasn't quite gotten there, but you know that you're smart enough to know that that's, this is probably where that kind of stuff would get you. So she's got a few numbers scrawled up on her paper, circled. Hey.
Welcome.
Hello. Welcome.
Hey. We're just getting started.
There we go.
We kind of just sat around and did shit and talked
Well, and I asked
Quatsch.
questions.
Yeah.
It's a good German
Found out
word for
questions from
rubbish.
Claire.
It's Quatsch. When you're just talking shit, they say you just
Oh.
Quatsch. We just
You
talked
might-
Quatsch.
You might be removing memories out of rubies that the robots left behind at some point, if you can.
You're assessing the robots to see if you can
Yeah.
muck with their minds, but not touching anything.
So they don't.
You know.
So they don't.
Is that
So they
something
don't-
you as well? Oh, how about we explain to Chrissy exactly what you are?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Good point.
Because she might not want to help Claire.
So
Might not.
the two robots, they were like spies from King Maxim,
I
and
remember that. Yep.
yeah, and now they're rubies, and like she's probably gonna be able to get away with it, but she still has to make up some kind of story as to why she couldn't help. So why she didn't help the robots when we attacked them. But there is a possibility that you, as an artificer, possibly with, I don't know, help from me, like it's probably gonna be mainly you, might be able to modify or delete that memory from them so that she doesn't get in trouble.
Sure, I'll try it. What do I roll for that?
So you are, I think, proficient with your tinker's tools,
Yep.
right? So if you want to use your tinker's tools, you could roll an arcana plus your whatever your proficiency bonus is for your tinker's tools.
Do I have enough time left that I could help her with that, or
Yeah.
okay, I will assist her with that since it's magic.
Okay.
All right. So that is 19 plus my
That would be 4.
4. Yeah.
Okay, 19 plus 4, so 23. All right. So you spend a few hours along with Horatio, kind of helping you out. Horatio tries to take like a biology approach. He's like, oh, it's kind of like a brain. Like you cut out here. And kind of gives you suggestions like that. Like if we cut off like this part here, you might be able to do it. You're not entirely sure if this works like a brain or not. So, but he's not wrong. Like he might be onto something with the, like, if you chisel away at parts of the ruby, you'd probably either delete or corrupt that memory enough that it wouldn't be visible again. And that's kind of like the best guess that you can do to take it, is you pretty much take a chisel and you're like, I'm gonna cut right here. And hopefully that's the right spot, and 2 will do enough like damage that it'll delete it, or it won't be, it just, it'll be corrupt and it won't be usable.
The thing is that nothing really happened, and that's going to get her in trouble because she just sat back and waited for them to kill us.
Yeah, she still has to explain that why she did that.
And why she's alive still. Like if she comes back alive with these 2 things, like why did you all let her go? How did she get out of?
Well, a tactical, it seems to me, Felix, not that I've been around some dodgy people, but if both of them happen to have been struck in the same spot, I'm just thinking there's got to be a way to crush them and have a better explanation than they both just happen to have their files corrupted.
Well, if they're rebuilt before they come back.
I'm just saying smash more, and that, like, cover your tracks. Like,
I see what you're talking
Like
about.
really damage it.
Mm-hmm.
What does Claire say about this?
She genuinely, like, these are not her creation. She knows nothing about robots. She does like pretend,
but it's still her. Like, no, our approach to it. It's still her who's gonna, in the end, be the person who's like.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like,
she's gonna have to explain it.
Yeah, kind of a cold spell on it, and then smash it then, because that might be, they could have like powered down and got caught in a blast of cold and then stepped on. or something.
So
they already hate me, so that I can tell them that I just beat the shit out of it. You know.
So she has two suggestions. Either she likes Preet's idea of like if you damage more than one spot, it's not going to look. There is going to be something fishy about like the two robots have the exact same, or roughly the same area damaged. If they have multiple spots that are damaged, it would be more like they both got the shit being out of them and they both took a lot of damage rather than like precisely. She also suggests or kind of wonders if if Felix would be able to rebuild them, and then she wouldn't necessarily have to show up and be like, hey, I need you to rebuild my robots. She'd show up with like not broken robots, maybe damaged robots, but not like
completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's like, okay, they beat them up and then I ran away. And we ran away.
And for some reason their last moments aren't recorded, which is a much more like plausible explanation.
Yes.
Plus, that would mean we would have the robots to actually help us fight things.
She can't guarantee that they won't again turn on you. She's like, they'll follow me to a certain extent, but if they feel like they can.
How did they die? I don't remember. I think one of them like blew itself up, kind of.
One of them blew itself up. Yes. The other one you stabbed enough that it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no like plausible. I was hoping there was like they were both killed by the same thing, and it was like a certain kind of magic that like might like plausibly but
yeah, she suggests like if we ran away and we just took a lot of damage, then it would explain the damaged memory and why they are damaged.
Also, if they're spying on her, then I think the best strategy is the first one of damaging them in different places.
Yeah.
And just happen to include the space.
Yeah. However, if you do bring them back, they're going to be able to spy, which means having conversations is going to be much more difficult again.
Yes. So bring them back.
Come up with codes.
Yes, but bring them. There's no point in that. Bring them back.
Is there any languages they don't speak or understand? Do they just record everything?
They work more like just a webcam. They record everything, so it's not like they understand what you are. They understand. She'll tell you they understand Modron and Common. As far as like. By understand, like those are the things they're going to take commands from, but they'll record everything. So if you speak in a language that someone else sees the recording and they know the language, then
and that's not going to help us because at least the only language I have that no one else is going to be likely to translate is Goldfish, and I don't think that's going to help us because you won't be able to understand that either. Best hope might be Abyssal or Primordial, but I don't know if any of you speak that.
I speak Abyssal.
Yeah, she could save bringing them back till later. It's not like they have like a date recorder. It's it's not like a VHS where it says like date and time on it.
Yeah.
It'll just be they shut down and then they came back.
That would best be I think what the best possibility is doing both, damaging them in different spots and then waiting to bring them back. So that means if she doesn't get the chance to bring them back, she still has a cover story, and if she brings them back, she also has a cover story. It's slightly better. I think that's the optimal way of doing it.
So a plan and a backup plan.
Yeah, because I think avoiding having them spy on us is gonna be a good thing, because they are he is obviously looking for us.
All right, that's what Felix will do. She'll just whack at him a few times.
All right. So you can do a sleight of hand with your Tinker's tools because you're. I know that some of the damage is going to be random, but some of it you're trying to be precise about.
Yeah.
You got to get these sections damaged. You definitely have to get these sections damaged. So to get those, gonna need a sleight of hand with your tinker's tools.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Very
good.
nice.
And then +4 because you got your thing
Yeah.
Bob.
21.
So
That's
that's
pretty good.
21. Okay. So you take you spend the rest of your team has kind of taken naps and looked at things and talked to Claire and whatnots until about midnight, and you spend a decent amount of that especially at first because you're being very careful, very carefully chiseling away. You are very certain that you got the memories that, or at least a section that contains the memories for the last kind of moments they were active. And then after that you really just went to town on it. You tried very hard to avoid. It's like it is like a brain in a lot of ways, where you try to avoid like the motor bits so that they can still move if you bring them back, and you're not actually hampering them to function properly, and more hampering kind of the memory / little bit of processing bit. And you're fairly confident you got the results that you wanted.
Is there any way, while I'm there, that I can make a check and see if I can figure out, like, if I wanted to adapt them, reprogram?
Oh, I see what you mean.
So even if I'm not doing it now, if I can get an idea of how I might reprogram them if I try to rebuild them.
Yeah, you can roll another Arcana and see how.
That I probably wouldn't be able to help you with.
Yeah.
28.
Oh,
Goodness.
oh,
Okay.
she doesn't need the help.
So yeah, she was
Getting
Felix got it all on her own. Okay. So the only it's how to put this. It's less of you being able to like the concepts of how these constructs work are you can very clearly understand. You have not Petunia, not Rosie, Buttercup. Yeah, Buttercup. Yep. Which you built.
And she's also rebuilt Jumper.
And you rebuilt Jumper. So like the basic concepts of how constructs work, you got pat down. There are some sections of this which are technology that you have apps that you've never really seen. It really is from the future. Like you do not know how it works, but you're fairly certain that if you had a good amount of time, you could sit there and kind of decipher the programming language to get to it. It's just right now it's extremely foreign to you, but you, if nothing else, know like this is the section of code that I need to figure out, and if I figure out this section of code, I can change it. You just gotta sit there and decipher it, and that is something that would probably take you like actually sitting down for like a couple of weeks of sitting down and like deciphering it.
Oh, they're written in brain fuck.
Yeah. But if you can have that's
an actual programming language that's purposely to be impossible to use.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's you're learning a new programming language, more or less. Like, yeah, you know how to do I don't know, you know how to write in binary because you're kind of there, but this is written in C+. And you're like, okay. I have no fucking idea what that is. But I know that's actually like programming languages, if nothing else, like you know what an if and statement is, and like, hey, I see something like that here. You know, this is where it loops back. I can see where the parts that I need to mess with.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Start. I probably am not going to have 2 weeks, because we've never had 2 weeks.
Never have 2 weeks. All right. Anything else?
2 weeks is when the world ends. So another
you have 2 weeks before the world ends.
Well, it was a good run.
Yeah. Anything else for you all?
I think I've used up all my time at this point.
Nope. Let's go save my mom.
Just that Estely the entire time is just lounging next to Claire, just annoying her every now and then.
All right. So if that is everybody, then Claire is finally kind of done with all her calculations, and she's like, she kind of gathers you all, and it's like, we might have overshot by a little bit.
What's a
What
little
does
bit?
that
Much is a
mean?
little
What
bit.
direction?
In a good direction.
Okay.
Earlier.
Yes. I was hoping to give us a couple of weeks to be able to find a way back to SOC and find a way to infiltrate the auction and rewrite what the events that happened. We went back 3 months.
Oh shit.
Oh, God.
Well, we
okay.
have plenty of time.
You do have plenty of time. We never get 2 weeks, she said.
Ah, I should know.
Where are
Things
we?
like that.
Oh, we're not too far from SOC. We are in Historia, the country up north. We made it a little bit further north.
Ah.
Is that where you're from, Goldfish Man?
No.
No.
It's the country that borders to the north of Leon.
It's the one that's on the other side of the of the mountains.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I think this is the right map. Yeah.
There it
I don't
is.
know which country Estely is from based on her background.
Yeah, we don't know.
But that's
Actually,
not where-
actually might
So
not.
Horatio is like his where he was like here-ish, if I remember correctly.
Yes, more or less.
And so Historia is up here, and
This used to be two separate countries, and now it
they
is
was
one.
taking over.
So, is this a place where people are hunting us?
3 months ago, probably not.
A better question: are the party members who died still alive?
Then yeah, they're not. They haven't. They're still. What were you guys doing 3 months ago?
Well, we were in the Underdark.
You were in the Underdark 3 months ago.
I think 3 months ago we would have been.
Probably
Oh my
what,
God, I
getting ready to
know-
fight the army? Or
That's what I want to say, but I think that's even less time than that ago.
might
I
have
think
just been
that's only like a
arriving.
month ago.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, and I didn't bother to look at my calendar, but if I remember right, 3 months ago was you
Hadn't arrived yet?
Yeah.
Well, we weren't
Felix. So
existing
Horatio
in this time.
and Reed and Edsley exist right now. Felix, Chavaris, and
Even here.
then here do not. They are somewhere. They do not exist right now because they are.
Oh, this is during the time skip.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you haven't quite arrived at in the Underdark, or you haven't quite managed to come out of the time skip yet.
Is this before Estely's incident or after?
This is still, I think, after. So this would only probably be like a couple of weeks before you meet up with this group of people.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So it hasn't. Yeah. So if you were to bump into 3 months ago Edsley, it's about 2 more weeks, and then you'll meet up with Chavaris and Felix and Herrick.
Okay.
So Herrick's alive somewhere. Edsley's alive somewhere. And Horatio's alive somewhere, but
Preet is
Chavaris,
providing
Felix-
entertainment for some traveling
Horatio's
performers.
presumably on the run. He's like somewhere
Yes.
in here,
yes. So you all are somewhere
trying to find somewhere into the Underdark.
Yeah, Felix is really the only one in this party right now that would not exist.
Question: where is the where did the original party into the Underdark in the map? Because we didn't have the map.
You did not have the
did
map
that.
when you originally.
Just to get an idea of the scale and how we've traveled.
You all. Well, okay. So this isn't going to make any sense, and that's because, like Claire let you know, the the time gate is a demiplane that moves in the Underdark.
Yeah.
So
of
you
course.
came in somewhere over here.
Yeah,
Into the Underdark, and you ended up somewhere out here, but somewhere in between, the time gate moved you.
Yeah. Okay. Just to have an idea of where things are.
Yeah.
Just, like, realized we actually didn't know that. Okay. Cool.
So Claire, what are the rules? Like, if there's two of us, and like, are we just gonna mess up the timeline that much more?
So Claire had to kind of explain this to the rest of the team, but there are these things called time elementals, which Felix would remember. That she fought them more than once. That kind of show up to fix time, and that is their job. They show up, and so if you were to try to like go kill yourself, they'd probably show up and try to kill you before you actually got to kill yourself, or kill both of you so that nothing ever goes wrong, and then we're just done.
So ideally, we should just try not to do anything that would mess with our previous selves at all.
Probably not. I would not encourage you to bump into yourselves. That would be terrible.
Well, Preet's in the Underdark.
In the Underdark.
I think everyone is, except for maybe Horatio.
Find his way into the Underdark. He's like on the run still. He wouldn't have been in the Underdark for that long.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So she doesn't. She does let you know that the most that she knows that you can safely. So you can change the past, as Etsley has figured out already, by graffitiing the past. As she likes to do. You can change it. It's some changes are minuscule and like no one's gonna care really. A clerical error if you mess with certain bits, and the time elementals are not gonna care if you graffiti the past. There are some changes that are bigger and you definitely cannot do, and you might either rip the fabric of reality or have to contend with time elementals before you can change it. Well, she's fairly certain that the last hour or so between the hour before she found you in Sock, the hour before the explosion and everything went to shit in Sock, that's still in flux, and you could probably still change that last hour without too much consequence.
Okay.
So do we just have to sit here and not do anything that would change anything?
Well,
yeah, because if we venture out, this is the Underdark, and we will encounter something. So the question is, what happens if we have to defend ourselves?
It depends. So it depends on what you do. Some of it, if you might have already done, the Underdark is a huge place, and you might have done in a different part of the Underdark that never affected you in the first place. You're completely unaware of it. And you have already done it, and you will do it again. And it just has your timelines don't cross. You will not, however, I would not say go back to, since she knows about Slinton, go back to Slinton and help yourselves win that fight in a way that you would be able to perceive for yourself. Up here in Historia, you probably can do a lot.
All right. I guess we should stay here in Historia for a little while.
Well, at least a couple of... Well, we should make our way back towards Zug, but not enter it until we actually need to be there, because we don't want to be interacting with ourselves.
I know.
At this point, Claire asks you, like, what is your plan for...
How will we get into Zug? Because...
That'll be easy. There's you came in through the Underdark. Just come in through the top. Different guards. They're not going to see you. They're not.
Okay.
Then
We can disguise ourselves. I'm less worried about that. More worried about what the heck we're gonna do for 3 months.
Well, we got to figure out a way to save your mother.
We have to. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
I guess she hasn't actually told you what happened.
Yeah, she hasn't.
She hasn't told you what's happened.
Yeah.
So she gets to tell you what happened.
All right.
So you know the Blacksmiths Festival,
Mhm.
correct? It's not about blacksmiths,
Yes.
Mhm.
clearly. It is instead a festival that is run by the local mob in Sock called the Blacksmiths, which is why they call it the Blacksmiths Festival. It is their way to show off their power to the government of Sock and the kingdom of the Everlasting Tops. That they control the city, and so they throw this very big friendly festival, get the whole city behind them, and they take care of the city. And in return, the city can't really mess with them because you can't go after the blacksmiths and then potentially piss off the citizens who rely on them for a lot of things. So at the end of the day, they're the ones who really run the city. Like, the government is there, but it does not really do much. It's the blacksmiths who run Sock. One of the reasons that they have this festival, like I said, is to show off their power. So they have an underground auction every year. This auction, they bring in it's not just for the blacksmiths, but it's mob families and mob groups and criminals from around the Historia and Leonis, and they all come here to show off how much money they have. So they put incredibly expensive items for auction, hundreds of thousands of gold, sometimes even millions of gold pieces for items, magic items, art pieces, statues, body parts of rare creatures, or things like that. All sorts. There are no real rules about what can or cannot be sold at the auction. So this is where the mob families show up, and they show off that they have millions of pieces of gold and try to outbid each other to. It's a dick measuring contest for the mob.
Well, that sounds interesting.
Yes,
useful stuff there.
Potentially. So what happened is the night that the explosion happened was the first night of the auction, of the underground auction. So this is where they sell all the illegal shit. When the auction started, two individuals got up on stage to announce the beginning of the auction. One of them, Claire describes as a rather bulky looking. She says it kind of looks like a construct, but it didn't move or walk like a construct. It was even more. She said that she's heard of them from the near continent of Eberron.
Okay.
But she hadn't seen one before. They're like constructs, but they're not. And then the other one was a. Do I have the right ones here? The other one was a short male with like a bowl cut, more or less. He looked extremely geeky looking man. Both of them wearing suits very similar to the suits that you saw the orcs wear when you were in Sock. When they went up to announce that the auction was started, as everyone expected that the auction was going to start. Oh, your mom was there buying illegal shit, as one does.
As one does, yeah.
As one does. That's why your mom was there. She was also selling stuff. This is why she's been kind of sitting around with her books and getting her finances straight, so she could also kind of show off how much money she's got. Yeah.
Pasta has locked herself out. She's
Pasta. Let me go get pasta real quick, and then I'll finish describing this. Okay, give me a second.
Oh, that's hilarious.
She texted your wife.
That pasta.
She's calling me a traitor.
Oh, that's sweet. That's happily she's just got places like if I locked myself out, I'd have to go to a friend's house to get my spare key. I'd have to walk 40 minutes.
She can still hear us.
Hey, Pasta. Well, hurry back. Hopefully there won't be a fee to come in.
She's done it so many times.
Where was she going?
To take Pumpkin outside.
Oh, okay, for a quick poodle. A little poodle. Okay. Oh, that's fun. You can hear them in the background. You can hear them laughing.
Oh, is she visiting?
Oh yeah,
She's currently living there. She
I did not know that.
I only learned it an hour ago. So that is like, if you didn't understand that, that wouldn't make any sense. Like, why?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm back, you assholes.
Okay, I'm back. We made it. We all made
To
it.
be fair, if any one of us had been in the same situation, you would also see the humor in it.
Yes.
It was completely unproblematic for you to get let back in. It was just a little bit of pride that got hurt.
I would have been fucked.
Except y'all's significant other didn't betray you.
How
Oh,
is that betraying you? That's
traitor.
you.
I was.
I told
You
you.
not
So
want
much
to
pride.
come
No,
back in?
Pastra,
Can I throw in that this happened when I got home and Pasta had like I was here for like 5 minutes and Pasta texted me. She's like walked out. So this has happened like twice in the last like 2 hours.
It's happened multiple times.
It happened yesterday.
Pasta. When you leave,
Yeah.
the door locks behind you.
Yeah,
You should
I'm
about
slowly
that.
learning that. I'm slowly learning that.
Always take the key. Yeah. Actually, when I go out my front door, I actually like drag the carpet between the door and the opening in case the wind blows and locks me out. Like,
I once, when I lived somewhere else, and I had a roommate, we had
I hope you got
an
locked out.
we had an electrician over to look at something, and he needed to go outside because the wire was outside or something. And we both went outside, and we both thought the other one had the key with us, so we were locked out while the electrician was there outside with us. So luckily it was in the summer, so the balcony door was open, and it was on the ground floor, but like a high ground floor. So I had to crawl up and get in through a window.
I was dog sitting for some people, and I turned around when I was grabbing the dog, and the door started swinging shut, and I saw the key sitting on the table as it shut in front of me.
Oh, no.
It was 5 o'clock on a Friday, and I ended up having
One of
to
those
call
slow motion moments.
one of those 24 like hour key places.
Locksmith.
And he couldn't break the door. He couldn't just jam it open like you use a lockpick. He had to like bust the lock. It was hundreds of dollars. It cost me hundreds of dollars to replace the lock and get the spare keys. Yeah. And I couldn't even it was my fault. They felt bad. I'm like, but I won the ones anyway. So don't feel bad, Pasta. Don't feel bad. I paid money to get into.
I just think it's it's good. Huh?
Okay, back to the
thing. Yes.
Back to the thing. Yeah, so I could hear the whole spiel, so you don't have to like.
I have to repeat it. Good. Okay. So back to the thing. Yes.
Mom was there buying illegal
shit. Yes, they got up the stage, and as if they were going to announce the beginning of the auction when the big guy, the big metal-y construct guy, pretty much welcomed everybody and then opened fire on everyone. The most of the meta speaking, the low level ones just instantly got killed. Higher level people, mob bosses and whatnots, were able to fight off for a bit, but even between him and the little guy, they weren't really able to do much. Part of the reason is not just that they were ridiculously overleveled or too powerful. It has more to do with they have a lot of rules about the auction. You cannot bring weapons, so everyone was just punching because that's all they could do. They had no weapons. There are runes throughout the whole area that inhibit magic items and inhibit magical spells. So even casters couldn't use magic. Claire found that some of the runes were like strategically damaged, and so there were some areas where magic could be used. She is guessing that probably one of those areas was the stage, which is how they were able to do anything like these two intruders were able to attack. She was able to find one of the spots that had a broken rune and was able to pretty much dimension door her way out. But not everyone was able to do that. And then the next thing she felt was the explosion as the whole hall was just kind of blown up.
And you believe this is related to the Modrons?
This has nothing to do with the Modrons. I am fairly certain that this is just some clan or guild trying to show off that they can.
Okay, it's mob shenanigans.
That they can pull a fast one on the blacksmith festival. That is something that you can put on your resume for a long time. That my clan were the ones blew up the blacksmith festival.
Okay.
It was a show of force. It was not about. I don't think it was about anything else besides showing off what they could do.
Any chance that any of the blacksmiths are still alive, or is this going to start a gang war?
If it happens again, I don't know which of the blacksmiths managed to live, but if none of the leaders managed to get out, there's a good chance that there's going to be a power vacuum within the blacksmiths, and then that's going to be their biggest concern. More so than the people who attack them is who's going to run the blacksmiths now.
Well, maybe
my question.
They're one and the same.
Maybe.
Well, let's make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it sows chaos. It makes it so that the blacksmiths are going to be incredibly weak now.
So another clan can take over. Maybe even the ones who attack. I don't know what their goal is, but at the end of this, they showed off that they are more than capable of.
In other words, let's help them the right mob.
Yes.
Did they have any sigils on them or any indication? Did they come under?
It's no one that I had ever seen before.
So we've got to figure out which clan did this. And tell one of the other clans so we can prevent it.
That's one way to do it.
Without getting the Modrons on our ass.
I have a time-related question.
Would the Modrons be there now?
They were. Oh, I don't know. Do you mean like right now? 3 months ago? Are they there?
Yeah.
Doubtful. I only saw them when we got there.
Okay, cool. Then we go to Sark and we warn the blacksmiths. Let them take care of it.
Here's an important question that we need to think about. Is if we completely stop the explosion from happening, could that in and of itself create some kind of paradox? Because if you don't hear the explosion, Claire, if you don't see it, you don't come get us, and then we don't go back in time to prevent it from happening.
Potentially.
So is that some kind of potential paradox?
It might. Some things that we can do when we in this situation is ensure that we still travel back in time.
That's true. But we need to figure out how.
But we would travel back in time with a different motive.
But as long as you travel back,
no matter what, we will be creating a grandfather paradox.
Yeah.
There's no way to avoid it. If you fix the thing that makes it go, no matter if we find a different reason to go, we will be going back to do something else.
But that's one thing we need to think
There's
about.
no way for us, and there's no way for us to force ourselves to do the thing we already did, because that wouldn't make sense.
We're on a
It
different
wouldn't-
timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It's my mom. All right.
Yep.
It's more how much damage that's gonna cause.
Well,
Life is full of damage.
If there's multiple timelines, then we just have separate timelines. It's just a break in the timeline.
Well, we also
And
we
at
also
this
have,
point,
we also now have 3 months to fix that.
Yes, and at this point, the timelines are so damaged that maybe this change might be rather inconsequential, and it's according to my calculations, and she kind of takes out her little watch thing again, that last hour is still in flux.
Well, all we have to do is go to Zerg and start maybe not directly tell the blacksmiths, but start making it clear to them. Like, start spreading a rumor that, hey, something might happen, so they up security at it. We don't have to go and be involved in any of it. They take care of it.
I won't feel secure in that. It's my mom.
That I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was about-
then at least let's go
I was about
do
to
that.
say if preemptively this clan that did it hears that certain precautions have been taken hold, they can easily maneuver and change up their plan to fit whatever plan is put into place.
They were able to get in the first place, and that in and of itself is quite the achievement. Not everyone, they don't just let anyone into the underground auction.
It takes a lot of planning
Then
to
how are
pull
we
something
gonna
like
do
that
it?
off.
No worries. Edsley.
Yes.
I'm aware that you have a past
I do.
because most people do, in fact, have a past.
Yes. That is true.
As we haven't fucked up the timeline that badly yet, so yes.
Yet.
But yet. Eventually we will fuck it up, but for now.
For now. We're
I
trying
say
to fix
these
it so
things-
that we can fuck it up later.
What I'm getting at is that you might know some people.
I do know I do know a good number of people. A lot of those people don't like me anymore.
Why not? How bad do they not like you?
You remember those wanted posters?
I do.
That's how badly they don't like me.
Well, they want you though, so they must like you a little bit.
No, they don't.
All right. So, if we start engaging with the mob, how much of a danger is that for you?
I don't know. And it's just gonna look at Claire and say, "Do any of them have a hand in anything?" Evil cackles from me and R&D.
I am sure that the blacksmiths have employed the hand before, but I do not know anything about the other party besides their appearance.
Well, you know at least a couple of the people who've been shot, so you know who didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. I do not believe it was anyone who is head of or highly involved with the blacksmiths who helped out. It
wasn't an internal power coup.
No.
All right.
How the fuck do we do? What do we do? There's no way for us to figure out who did it, is there?
Well, we just need to figure out who didn't do it, right?
No, you have 3 months. So I will. Okay,
we do.
I'll stop you here because I know you all have a lot of questions, a lot of things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this out a whole lot. You have 3 months. So we're gonna pull way back up. So we're not gonna run this like day by day, or moment by moment. We're not gonna run out 3 months like this. You have 3 months.
That's longer than that's as long as the campaign has already run.
Yes. So we won't do it that way. We're gonna go kind of Micro and Christy and Chrissy. You both did the wedding, whatever, the dead wedding that we did like a month over 3 hours. Yeah. We're gonna pull back to that range. You have 3 months. You can make decisions and make plans on like long-term things that you would like to do. There's obviously going to be roles associated with that, monetary costs. At this point, you have a lot of resources, so I am very confident that you have resources to get a lot accomplished. You do have your steeders and your carts with you. You have a whole lot of money and magic items and connections and all that kind of jazz. So it really is going to be of, I would like to do this over the next month or the next 2 weeks. What do we got to roll to do that? And you guys can tell me.
Okay. Well, first, can Preet finish her book?
Preet can finish her book, yes. At this point, Preet will very easily be able to finish her book.
All right. Is it 1 point or 2 points? It's like an ability.
2 points. It's 2 points, so it'll make your mod go up by 1.
Cool. Okay. So I want to just take care of that, so I don't have to keep doing bookkeeping and how many hours.
Yes, you will find the time. They're not, unless you do something extremely wild, you will find the time to read your book.
I will say that usually a large scale plan like that is planned extremely meticulously, and if anything goes wrong during the plan, things can go all sorts of haywire. So I feel like the best way to approach this is to figure out what their plan is.
Well,
and
I think
then
their plan
think
is
of ways to counteract that.
Yeah, so their plan is to sneak into the festival and then kill everybody and blow up the venue.
Yeah, but
so
like Claire said, they broke runes in different rooms to keep from magic. So if we could figure out those rooms, which if we figure out all of the rooms in the building, would be able to strategically look at everything and
I don't
kind of
think the blacksmith
where everything is
gonna do. The blacksmith is gonna let us like walk around and look at their magic runes, because that's suspicious.
No, here's the thing. We're 3 months away from that. We can just go into the building that they're using and just take a look around and see.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna let us.
Claire lets you know that the building that they are using is honest. It's a public building. It's really, in modern day, it's like a concert arena. Like
are the magic rune things part of that building, or is that something they put up?
Claire doesn't know for sure, but she's more certain that the blacksmiths add them as extra security, and that they're not actually part of the part of the original construction. Like they beef up security ahead of time of this event happening. But on its own, this is really just like a concert hall that you can just rent out. If you have enough money, you can rent it out and put on a play or whatever.
It's a convention center, basically.
Yeah, it's a convention center. They use it once a year to do this. They up security for this event. She doesn't know for sure because she's never been there without the blacksmith festival happening. So she doesn't know if the runes are always there or if they're placed there by the blacksmith as the festival approaches, or when they would be placed. That's something you'd have to figure out.
And that's not necessarily what I'm suggesting is go and inspect the runes. That, like you said, that'd be way too obvious. It would be going and inspecting the target spot. So I'm about to go all criminal. Before you rob a place, you inspect the areas first. Any problem spots, if there's any security cameras, any ideal windows getting into, if there's some climbing you have to do. So when you go to that area, and I'm sure these the people who did this had to have inspected that building to see which areas were the most prime spots for certain rooms to not have runes and for an attack. So what we would have to do is go to the same spot and think like they would to determine what their strategy would be in that particular spot.
And then what?
We got to think like criminals, people.
Well, I think the question too is what is the goal for what we want to do. So I mean, we have a lot of options. One is, let's say, try to figure out which gang is behind it and sabotage them. Another thing is to, basically like figure out, like you said, case the joint and then see if we can do like a counterattack. Another thing would be to, like, I don't know, kidnap her mom as she's getting to the festival
and lock her away.
Yeah, but just let it blow up. So I think the first thing is, like,
we could just
before we go,
her.
if I could just finish, if we could just figure out what our long-term goals are, then I think the steps to getting there will be easier. We just need to dial back from a micro view to a macro one.
So either we attempt to prevent them from getting in there entirely. We figure out exactly how they're gonna do the attack, or more or less how they're gonna do the attack, and prevent it as it's happening, more or less. Or we go and warn Felix's mom so she doesn't go there.
I think it's reasonable to prevent a mass murder if you can.
Yes, I would agree so.
Yeah, it's probably not just the people getting killed at the event, but also the explosion is going to have a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah, and you all saw the chaos that ensued afterwards.
Yeah,
if we can prevent that, that would obviously be preferred. So, which of the two do we want to? When do we want to prevent it? Early, or do we want to prevent it in last minute?
I don't think that. I think two things. One, if we tip our hand, that may just change their strategy and end us up at the same place. Two, Claire says the timeline is in flux in about that hour. So that seems to be the key hour that we can cause a real change without massive damage to the timeline.
Claire also points out that there's a good chance that, like, because that's the only part that's in flux, that even if you try to make changes before that, the timeline might figure out ways to fix itself so that the event still happens. So you might say try to take down one of the members that she saw of that group and, like, take him down so he can't be there, but they'll just be replaced by another one. Not really making a real change. The time you can make the real change is going to be that last hour.
Well, I guess our first thing should be to go to SOC.
I think we should find a way to disguise ourselves.
I believe I have disguise self.
Yeah, but I need more. Yeah, we need to find a more permanent way to disguise ourselves. If we end up in SOC with two versions of ourselves walking around all the time, that's going to be awkward. That's going to lead to problems.
That'll be only for the last week or so.
Well, we were there, and then we were gone, and then we were there, and we're gone. In any case, my mother will hear about me being there.
Yeah,
that is true.
So, and Claire is there for quite a lot of the time.
So you need to buy some sort of
Claire
hat disguise.
Yeah, Claire will tell you that it's a little bit more like not everyone, but people know who she is. She's a diplomat. She can't just wander around SOC and there be two.
Well, okay. How much time do we need to do this? Because the less time we spend in SOC, the better. If considering that there's a risk of being fucking up the timeline by crossing over with ourselves.
I will say that if we want to try to figure out who the gang is that does it, I could go into the criminal underground area and see what I can find.
I mean, the more information we have, the better, right?
Yeah, it'll cost me money, but usually it's not too bad.
Would Felix's mom know about that Edsley is connected to Felix at this point?
Not
It's
at this
more
point.
that it's more, yeah, okay. It's more that I want to make sure because Edsley would have to go in as herself to get the information. If she comes as a complete stranger, she probably can't get the information, I would assume.
Yeah, at this point, Felix's mom, I mean, she doesn't know what happened. Felix has been gone for 4 years and some
Okay,
amount of
good.
time.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we just need to find out. We can probably we have 3 months, well, a little less because we also have to do the thing, but we can probably in those 3 months get hats of disguise or something
Yeah.
and adopt some alter egos. For the how long do we need? 4 weeks, 2 weeks? How long do we actually need to be able to prepare for and scope out this place ourselves?
Should I do a role in that since I'm the one who
Sure, yeah,
probably
you can
knows
kind
more?
of you can either do like an insight to like try to figure out like how are these people thinking, just to yeah, how do they think, what would they do? That's probably the best one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say
roll
insight.
good. Let's hope I roll good.
Okay,
that's not
16
bad.
isn't bad.
Wait, are you proficient in
insight?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay, that's it's still 16 because it's a 10. So
Yeah.
So with insight with 16, pretty much thinking about how they would do it, there's a good chance that the if you were running it, if you were the one who was starting to set up this event, and you wanted to make sure that people's safety and the whole thing runs smoothly, you would probably rent out or start setting up a month ahead of time. You would like, if you go under the assumption that you're the one setting up the runes and all the security system. If they're not already built in, you would need a month. If it's already built in, you'd probably need like only 2 weeks. So you kind of have two options depending on which assumption you want to go with. That it already has some security system built in, or if you have to build it from scratch into it for the event.
So depending on whether or not there's already runes or not, depends on how much time we have.
Mm-hmm. Because you need to get wizards out there to sit there and set up all the shenanigans. Well, so that's something without knowing that information, that is the best guess that you could do. A month or 2 weeks.
Oh.
All right. We should probably plan on being there beforehand. We should plan on establishing a cover, maybe having things to sell, or a reputation as big spenders who want to be there for the auction.
Claire will let you know that if you want to be a big spender, you're gonna have to make yourself known to the blacksmiths, like, or one of the other like underground families, to be like. Doesn't necessarily have to be the blacksmiths. Like, it can be but you have to let them know, because they have to know who you are, and you have to either spend a lot of money or make a lot of money in a way that they can see it, so they can be like,
out of nowhere a few months before.
She doesn't think that that's impossible. Like you could do it, but you're going to have to do something big to say like, hey, you can be the rookies in town, the new people in town, and show up with big money and just be like, whatever, we have all this exotic stuff to sell you, or we have all this, we want to buy all this exotic stuff, so that they can tell that you have money to move around.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon for younger big shots to come around and just start spending money like crazy.
Yeah, this is a good place to be to show off. This is what the whole event is about, is showing off. So it is not, Claire is right, or not, Etsley's right. It's not uncommon for young up and comings to be like, I'm gonna show off here so that people start giving me attention. But you're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In order to get invited, because otherwise you would have to sneak in, and that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, I feel like if we infiltrate,
I mean, I could do it, but
we can not only that, but we might be able to meet the people involved if they're also around.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So I feel like if we're going with this plan, we need to establish roles for everybody.
Well, first we need to find some disguises. Some way to disguise.
I think these two
also.
things are linked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we can't really do the disguises without knowing what our roles are.
All right, so now we're in a gang.
Hell yeah,
You're in a
now.
gang.
The last ditch effort game.
Okay.
Well,
You probably want to change your name.
We're not last ditch effort anymore. We've got to be
First attempts.
Irrationally exuberant.
The last chance.
Big spending ink.
Big spending. Just gonna
No.
Put
We're
it out
spring
there.
break. We're the spring breakers.
we're the time changers. We're the golden
Watch.
Find us sellers.
the golden watch. I like it.
Golden watch. There we go.
That's good. I like that. That sounds fancy. That's fancy.
Sounds
enough.
very nouveau riche, very aspirational.
It sounds like a snobby young people like company. Like, hey,
Yeah.
we got big ideas and big plans. We're gonna make them happen.
We're
But
swatch.
and it's golden spelled without the E. It's just golden.
Golden.
Like it's a company.
Gold in the watch.
Yeah, golden. You know how like
You're the,
tech companies always delete vowels at the end.
You're the best performer, right?
I've been known to be able to pull stuff off. Yeah.
You should be the boss.
Oh. Okay. All right. So, all right. If I'm the boss, then you should. Who's gonna be my second?
Felix should be your second.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna be my consigliere? Who's gonna be my finance guy?
I
Or
think
woman.
it would
Or person?
probably make the most sense if for me to be like the production guy
What a boss.
together with Felix.
What is a
Like,
production guy?
Yeah, I'm confused.
well, we need to make something to sell.
You can. I mean, you don't.
We can just be buyers.
You can buy something to sell.
We're
You just need
importers,
something.
exporters.
Yeah, you don't have. I mean, making something is also works. You can
Ooh.
definitely like. That's not a. You can, and there's all sorts of illicit things that I'm sure Horatio can make, or with enough supplies. But you don't necessarily have to make something. You can be buyers
Well,
and
it's
sellers.
more that I would rather make something and get money for it than I would then spend our money.
Well, look, we've got talented people here, right?
What's a
Felix,
consigliere?
you can make stuff, and Horatio can make stuff. So, what's like the most kind of high quality things you can do? We can deal in
Well-
rare items.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make with I
mean,
can
rich
make
people are
things
dumb,
like
they'll buy
bags of holding.
Yours
how
aren't
many-
permanent.
Yeah, mine
What
aren't
about?
permanent.
Can we like jack up some weapons or?
Oh, I should, but however, you do know somebody who can make permanent bags of holding. You know a whole city who's very good at it.
Mm.
Hmm.
To which you haven't been to yet because you're not even there. You don't exist yet.
But that would we just have to avoid Saccharin because that would cross our own timelines.
No, not if we were just in disguise.
That's true.
So yeah, Felix would know that Saccharin made you your bag of holding, and that is a permanent bag of it's different than the. Felix would know that the one that he made is different than the ones that you can make.
What about
he did something that made it permanent?
We already made something that he's made.
What?
Your little shiny
flashlight.
Yeah.
Flashlight.
Is that
I also don't think that's permanent. So again, you can figure out if you can figure out a way to make it permanent, you got yourself.
But it's also a question of how fancy.
Hang on 1 second.
Oh, I didn't know you're on.
Also, I think we'd have to go fight those things that we're fighting in a couple months in order to get them.
Yeah.
Well, but how fancy does the thing we need? Because it needs to be something that's really expensive. It needs to be something that's like will sell for a high enough price that we will be noticed.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, we just need to buy something really big to get noticed.
I kind of like the idea of a cover being that we're movers and shakers, or we want to be. Got some sort of if we've got 3 months, that is enough time to do a downtime activity to create a magic item if we can get the components.
Especially considering we have two quite powerful magic users.
Well, I would have done prep on the rules for downtime activities. I actually have been looking into them, so I do know.
Yes. I don't have. I can go grab my DMG, but yeah, there you can. This is a rather. I would say that I'd have to kind of. Probably half or something the time that it would take because this is a rather high magic-y setting.
Okay. Yeah.
You'd been into cities with like elevators and shit and more or less running water. So this is definitely a more high magic-y kind of thing. So magic items are easier to obtain. Like I think you have a stockpile of magic items even as I say this. Like they're not that hard for you to obtain.
Etsley.
Yes.
You what kind of things would be something that these people would be like, whoa, that's a cool thing. Where did you get that? I'll pay a lot of money for it. What kind of items would these people be very interested in buying?
About rich people?
No, criminals.
Well, criminals. They're rich criminals, but they're still shit. But they're still criminals.
Can I do a roll to see what Estelle knows?
Sure, you can.
I could probably help. My mother was a smuggler.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Your mother is. So, what exactly are you? What exactly is the question you're asking?
What would impress these guys? Right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. What?
If we made something to sell, what would be like something where like we would make a big splash by selling it?
Or if we got it in some other way.
Like for instance, hidden knives. Like, could we work up some sort of contraption where the knife could?
Well, it's also a question of how fancy it has to be. For
So let's let. I would say another insight, and with advantage if you and Felix are putting your heads together to figure this out.
I rolled 2 16s. How did I do that?
Wow. But 16, I think that's the lowest you can roll, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is
the lowest you can roll. Okay. I mean, thankfully you're not trying to figure out like someone's secret motivation. So the 16 is pretty good. So with a 16, you can kind of think of two big categories of items. One is unnecessary luxury items. Self-driving carts, for example, might be an unnecessary luxury item.
Which we know who would make those.
You know who makes, but things like that, like unnecessary, like something that is unnecessary, but makes you look cool doing it or having it.
So Elon Musk items.
Elon Musk items, yes.
Yes.
The the other category of things that you could probably sell a lot of are things like more like an arms dealer kind of stuff. So kind of like what Preet was saying, hidden knives, deadly poisons,
That sounds fun.
weapons that can like cause a lot of damage. If guns existed in, I don't even know if guns exist in this world, but guns, things like that. Like, what is the latest kind of military grade items that you can get? Which, hey, you also know people who make those or have made them. But those would kind of be the two big ones.
Yeah, we know.
I feel like arms is
need to figure
good.
out which one.
Mm-hmm.
Arms
I
would
think-
be good.
I think
Question: Could me and Felix put our heads together? Could we find a way to store a charge of Circle of Death in an item, effectively creating like a bomb of it? That's a thing to sell.
Probably. I think Etsley with a 16 insight is going to tell you that.
They want something more subtle.
No, it's not about the subtlety. Is that you're trying to reinvent the wheel? Like someone's probably already done this work, and there's no reason. Like, it might take you. Going back to Elon Musk. You're trying to like reinvent the train when the train already exists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which some people, because rich assholes, might be like, yeah, let's reinvent the train, so something stupider, and pay a lot of money for it. But that thing already exists, and so it goes back to that arms thing. Like,
Okay,
if you
so we
can
just
buy
need
that
to
that thing
find-
that exists really cheap and sell it really high to the people who want it, you can make a good amount of money that way.
Okay.
Or you can
Like
invent
Nike
an
shoes.
unnecessarily fancy version of it that doesn't really do much, but it's like it's the new hip thing. So it's going to be like how you want to sell it. So you probably could, and you could be like, yeah, this is a Circle of Death, but it's more effective, or like, how are you going to jazz it up? Are you going to like, what's going to make it cool? Because if you just do a Circle of Death, like,
It
just hire a
explodes Circle
wizard.
of Death and glitter.
Yeah. Like, yeah, Circle
Here's
of Death,
one
just
of
hire a wizard.
the things that I think is a benefit of if we're arms people is that we have a reason to come in with weapons.
Mm-hmm. We're displaying our
Yeah.
products. Like knives that
Oh.
pop out of the bottom
Yeah.
of your boots. You can stab people in the shins when you kick them.
Well, I'm gonna be completely useless if magic is being turned off.
Well, we're not going to let them, or we at least know where the magic isn't going to be turned off.
Yeah.
We can.
Claire
plan
can tell
ahead.
you like a couple of spots that she spotted, because obviously she used one of them to
Okay.
escape. But
Mhm.
again, there are, you're not going to have free reign to run around casting magic.
Yeah.
Probably,
But it's more
there
if-
are definitely spots that she knows will be broken by the time you get there.
Mhm.
So do
And
we
we can do other things as well. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If we know some of the places where they're going to break the runes, we can always put in our own
Okay.
runes.
wanna...
We can just double them up.
Claire lets you know that she got this message stone that she uses that Etsley has.
Mhm.
She got that into the stadium by hiding it inside of her prosthetic arms, because they let her in with her prosthetic arms, even though they're magic. They made an
they're
exception
attached.
for her, and she was able to like sneak it in. So there are definitely ways to like sneak in magic.
Would I even be able to get Trevor in?
I don't know. I mean, I do, but
No, but I'm gonna ask Claire. Like, does she think I would be able to get?
Trevor in?
Because otherwise, I am screwed.
You might
I
need
got-
you. Depends on it depends on how you're gonna jazz it up and how you're gonna sell it. It's all you like.
Hey,
If
you can yell at them at being discriminatory against
Yeah.
someone with a
Well,
disability.
if you're the finance guy,
if you're the finance guy, they will let you in. If you're just some random Joe off the street and you try to go in with Trevor, no. But
yeah, and Etsley
you're
is
gonna have to
Well,
sell it.
is
Well, if you're in the
my
sky,
lawyer.
Well,
and Felix is my
the
muscle.
thing is, the thing is, it's not so much that like it's more of a question of even if we're in some, because if we can't, our disguises can't be magical, because then our disguises are going to be turned off the moment we walk in there.
Yes.
So, but Trevor is natural. Like, obviously, he's not going to be turned off by being. Well, I don't know. He might stop being animated while in there.
They made the she kind of she reaches into her like into her shirt and brings out like a little tile. It looks like a little wooden tile, and she gives that to you. This is the thing that they gave her to like give her an exception to let in her magic arts.
Okay.
Like it depends on how you like. They will help. They're not discriminatory. They're not going to be like, no, can't come in. You're going to have to convince them that they should let you in, and they will give you a way.
That's not the issue here, because the issue is that Trevor's going to be in disguise. Like,
It's like, can you? Oh, who's crunching? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Oh, okay, okay.
If
Sorry,
I go
Chrissy,
in
my
there,
bad.
Blamed me.
I did because you
when
were
I go
doing
in
the thing
there,
earlier.
like I obviously won't be looking like a skeleton, because if I do that, I will be revealed. I need to be in disguise that it's not me. So, like, yeah, okay, but I have the thing now, so I can just go in there without it and hope that they don't notice that it's.
You're thinking of the wrong thing first. We're thinking back. We're thinking all over the place. We have to get our plan
I
together
agree.
and work out the details after.
Yep.
Okay, the first thing we need to do is roles and disguises. Let's start there.
Well, we did already. I'm the boss.
Yeah, so you got your roles. Yeah, I guess you got a boss.
I'm
lady.
apparently a lawyer.
Yeah, you're my consigliere. Felix is my muscle. Slash lieutenant.
What a concierge is.
And I'm the.
No, you're right.
finance-
Yeah, you're the lawyer.
Lawyer / advisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm the.
I like
the
advisor better.
finance guy, I guess.
Lawyer.
You're my bookkeeper, yeah. Or my
Yeah.
accountant.
You need a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
And Claire points out that being a bookkeeper might let you in with books, which might be important for a wizard.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So then we've got the Dead Enders. Well, sorry, what's our name again?
Golden Watch.
Oh, the Golden Watch.
Watch.
Right. All right. So the thing is, we were trying to come up with what is our shtick? What's our hook?
What are
who
we selling?
Yes.
Well, we're
Our hook is that we're new kids on the block with a really good new
so
weapon
would we
that everyone should want.
So the question, do we need to go sell something first to make a splash and then get a second thing to bring to the auction?
I think that if we've got a few wares, we can show up a couple weeks ahead of time and start talking to people and making connections.
Yeah, okay, we don't need to make an actual sale first.
No,
It's
I
more
just
like,
think
we don't
maybe
need 2 items.
we will need products that are demos or some early sales.
Yeah.
For proof
Yeah,
of
we're going to
concept.
need products. We're going to need stuff to bring, and we're going to want to show a few examples and let people know that we're serious. And that'll get us in.
Yeah, Claire will let you know that if you cannot make a sale or sell the fact that you are serious about this before the festival, you're not going to get invited. No one's just going to let you in on a hunch. You're going to have to do something to prove that you are serious about what you got. You probably can't just show up with, at the festival, you probably can't just show up with something new and expect to be let in the door. You could probably do that to one of the families and show up to their door and be like, hey, I got this new cool thing. Let me show it to you. And if you sell it there, you might be able to get into the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm. Will we need to bring something? Could we go as buyers? It's more like getting one item. There's a difference between getting one item and like more items we have to get, the harder it is.
Well, we do have 3 months.
That is true.
Yeah, you have a lot of time.
Oh, we
have
hold on.
3 months, and we also know people who can help us.
We also already have.
I'm gonna go take a bio.
We
break.
already have something we could sell. We have because we could sell. No one's gonna be using it. We could sell the tome of like strength thing. That is a pretty
I mean,
powerful item.
none of us really need it really.
Yeah, Herrick isn't, and like.
All right, yeah. So we deal in rare artifacts. But the thing is, then again,
And things that rare artifacts that are useful for those who are of the fighting persuasion, like a tome of strength.
Yeah, like
and some weaponry.
It would be a way to get there. Like if you have a bodyguard, hey, now your bodyguard by just reading a bit, he can become stronger and be better able to protect you.
Yeah, I get the.
Yeah.
So the question is that enough? That enough to get us into the
we
auction?
need more.
No, but it's something. It's something we can have with us to look more professional.
Very true.
Okay, what else? Should we go and get one of the self-driving? See if we can. Should we go to Stinson and see if we can?
I don't want to go and get more carts. Carts are a pain in the ass.
I have teleportation porn.
You do?
I don't think the
I don't know if they'll transport the carts though.
No, but
it could possibly teleport one of us into a room that has a messed up rune. Hint, hint.
I was thinking of selling it.
Or that.
Do you think they would like it? Teleportation?
We can sell my porn.
No, I think we should go and invent some new weapons. You know, if Eberron is a known
new
place,
and trendy,
then guns are a known thing.
Like gunpowder?
If Warforged and Eberron
it's true.
are known to this universe, then they probably don't have guns, but they've heard of them. And I'm an and between me and the guy, I'm an artificer, and between me and our friend from Splinton, we can invent some guns.
That would be very, very convincing.
So I don't know, one thing I don't know, out of character, I don't know if I can actually do if I would be able to enchant things, give a permanent enchantment to something. I don't know if that's a thing I can actually do as a wizard.
What can you do? Not do?
You have to check your spells, I guess.
Well, I don't have there's no spell for it. I don't think I get any spells for it. It's more could I?
Why do you want to enchant a thing?
Well,
what are you trying to enchant?
Well, think about it. If you come and present them with a gun, that's cool. But if you come and present them with a gun that also does necrotic damage, that's even cooler. That's what I'm thinking. That's something to jazz the weapon up.
Here's the thing. We can make regular guns to sell it first, but then hype up the fact that we have the bedazzled gun for the auction.
Well, we would probably need to demonstrate it. You can't just come and say, "Hey, we have a gun that does something."
Well,
so
we wouldn't necessarily need
to.
It could be the bullets that do it, not the gun.
Yeah, that could be the.
Well, I'm sure they would still want a demonstration of some description.
Well, surely we could just
fancier when we could.
It was more it was just if I'm able to do it, it's something we could potentially do to jazz up the thing we're selling.
Well, we could also just eat up the bullets and poison.
What our DM missed is we've decided that since Eberron is a known place and Warforged are heard of, then at least the theory of guns is out there. And between me and Saccharin, we can invent some and build some and create some and have them ready to go and take them, and we can present them with the brandy newest, coolest,
loudest,
boomiest blunderbuss of musketry that you could ever want. Okay. And that would be cool, and that would probably be enough to get us in.
Golden Watch guns, your time is up.
I do have.
I love it.
I do have drow gunslingers in my campaign, so I know a bit of or I'm looking up the stats. If you want R&D on the how the guns work, they're like more like arboresc. How do you say that?
I mean, if you're not going to use them personally, I don't.
Yeah, you don't care.
know if I care about finding the stats.
We don't. We'll have to use them because we'll be
For demonstration.
That's our plan. Is
Yes.
to bring them
But
in.
like, you're not going to take them as weapons, I don't think.
But I can add.
We
some,
also
like,
have a pretty spear.
Yeah,
I will point that out. We have a very pretty spear that's probably worth quite a lot. That's probably
All right,
gonna.
so we have a tome of strength, pretty spear, some guns. All right,
We do have teleportation porn.
teleportation porn. We do have some Godstream, but nobody knows what the fuck that is, so it's not going to help us.
But it bumps up. No, this is good. It does bump up your armor. That is very rare, actually.
Yeah.
You actually had some made. You're wearing it, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wearing it.
So you could demo that and promise the raw material.
And Preet would be right that this, and I guess God, I should you. It is something that nobody knows anything about and is very, very new.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some items that even like we don't necessarily need to sell them. We just need to show that we have them.
Yep.
As we also sell something else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if we're just bringing things for the auction, they're pretty cool freaking things. I mean, people could, in theory, look at the tome to see that it's legit. And we can demo the God's Dream in your equipment and promise more of the raw material and bury that shit somewhere so that we're not carrying it around. So we won't be putting a big old target on our back with this kind of product.
Okay, but anything we bring to the auction is potentially going to be sold because we can't go there to the auction to just.
Well, the whole thing goes down when it just starts, so.
Yeah,
we don't actually
necessarily have to worry about it.
We'll put our stuff near the end.
Yeah.
And then we have to go get our things out of the order.
Claire will let you know that if you make it in, you're not going to put it in the end. You're going to put it at the front. You're the opening. You're not the main. You're not the main show. You'd be opening for the band.
Well, we wouldn't necessarily be the first things up, though.
No, but you'd be opening for the band. Yeah, you'd be very close to the front. You're not going to be the last. Like they say the best is for last. You're not going to be at the.
Well, God's Dream is pretty amazing.
Yeah, but no one knows us, so.
Hang on, but she already said that they were the ones that were opening. They go up to open the whole thing and just start shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't matter if we're first, last, middle.
Yeah,
well, it matters if we want to keep our things because if we prevent the thing from happening, then the auction goes through presumably, and then our things are probably going to be sold. We can't reward them after we've already put them up for auction.
I was pretty sure we were going to prevent it from happening by killing the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't know. Will the auction continue after that? What I'm saying is we should be prepared to lose whatever we put up to auction.
Lose is a word more like you might actually sell the shit that you put up.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think if we have it there, we have it ready to go, then we know we have a way of getting weapons in there. We have immediate access to them. We know that the stage is magical. We can get on stage. Mm-hmm. We could even be right in the decks if we're first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might work to our advantage that we're first.
It'll definitely work to our advantage.
So yeah, we need to figure out how we're disguising ourselves, and then we need to go see Sakran and make some fucking guns.
Yeah.
And then we need to sell at least one of them to someone some other gang leader high up, so that we have a name. And then we need to go to Sug and say, "Hey, we're these new people who have their
Well, that's where the gang leaders are. It's in Sock. Anyways.
Go and show up in Sock first. Yeah, that's where they are. So,
you want to sell it to the blacksmiths?
Yes.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I want a
Yeah, that's
I
probably a
want a
good idea.
relationship with the blacksmiths because
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Because I stole from them.
because when
Well, not yet.
I want a relationship with the blacksmiths because when shit goes down, I want them to know me, trust me, and I want to toss them a weapon and say, "Have at it. They're gonna kill you." I want them to understand what's going on.
Okay,
That's a
so
good idea.
well, we could probably get something. Do we want to? How do we want to disguise ourselves?
Well, it has to be physical disguises. So you're the most difficult one. The rest of us can probably figure something out, but
I mean, I already kind of look like a drow.
I mean,
So
it wouldn't be that hard. Like, honestly, like, just give me a different colored something that isn't an obvious wizard robe, and just put a mask or something over the face and some gloves. Like, as long as I'm wearing clothes, you can't tell that it's a skeleton.
that's true.
And we could just get a box for the fishbowl with a hole in it.
Horatio's disguise is just putting on clothes.
For Trevor, it literally is. Oh, he's missing his lower jaw, remember?
Definitely will need a mask.
more than a mask, we
yes.
need a way to make your voice come out of his face.
Well, we've made people think that before.
Yeah. Well, that's the.
Remember?
That's true, you
remember
didn't.
the vet, we got the vet to think
Also, that
he was
wouldn't be
just like
too
using
hard.
the
That's
fish
just
as a puppet.
that wouldn't be too hard. That would just be if we put the fishbowl in like a box with a hole in it to like disguise the fishbowl, we can just run a pipe up there to the mouth under the clothes, and I can just talk into that, and it will come out at up there.
Do as
no,
little talking as possible, but I think puppet. I'm thinking puppet.
Yeah, I think if we could fool the veterinarian, I think we could fool like pretty much anybody.
Yeah, Trevor's a ventriloquist, and he brings his puppet around.
His puppet goldfish.
He uses his pet goldfish as a puppet out of an insecurity. He's
Awesome.
crazy, but he's a genius when it comes to numbers.
Yes.
I was gonna
There we
avoid
go.
the whole
There's
fish
your
thing
backstory.
and just have me and be in like a box or something.
Yeah,
No,
in a puppet
the
box.
would cause
In a
this.
puppet, you're going to be in a box in a puppet.
Why not just have me in like a suitcase?
No, because the suitcase doesn't talk. A
I like the
ventriloquist
fish
dummy
thing better.
talks.
You're gonna be
It
that
doesn't
one
have
bad
to be
guy
a
from
fish.
Batman.
It could be like
The puppeteer?
I don't know, like a teddy bear or something. It doesn't matter. You just stick his goldfish into the puppet and have Trevor move his face around, and he's talking.
What if we fill Trevor's skull? We cut open Trevor's skull, fill it with water, and we can live in there. Then the sound comes
Why
out the
didn't
right
we do
place.
that before?
Because that doesn't work. I need to be in the bowl.
His lower jaw isn't even attached. No, it's gonna have to be a puppet. That's the only way.
Yep.
I see no other way.
I don't see it.
There's
This will
no
be
other way.
even remotely accessible.
I'm sure the mob
So-
won't think that's weird at all.
So Horatio is our slightly mad but genius with numbers accountant.
To be fair, well, at least in the Underdark, you didn't see like a whole lot of people weren't freaked out by you. Like, the Underdark's a weird ass place. A talking goldfish is like nothing.
Yeah, but it's even if it's nothing, it's not like we saw more than one.
Yeah,
You're a little
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
you are
little
unique. You're not weird. You're unique.
Yeah.
Stand out.
So,
Like,
but
yeah, there's a lot of unique
ventriloquist
shit that
dummy.
happens in the
Mhm.
Underdark.
There's
At least-
plenty of ventriloquists
Well,
in
it
the
could be a
world.
talking box then.
Fucking-
No, it's a puppet.
Okay.
It's a puppet,
puppet.
and
really fighting this puppet thing.
All right, I'm gonna go look up different puppets it could be. I'm also gonna need 2 weeks to try to figure out how to reprogram the the two people that came with you, they let you in with those two guys, right?
No.
No. Okay, so the two guys had to stay out. Well, that's not that much help, but so we need to go to Splinton. We need to get some guns. We need to show up at, maybe like a month or so before before the event, do some selling, get ourselves acquainted, and we need to get in there, be prepared, be first in line, have all our weaponry and magic ready to go, and be ready to kill these motherfuckers the minute they step on the stage.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well,
Except Felix, you
the
forgot
minute-
one
the minute
important
they-
thing.
I did?
The shopping
What
montage.
is Claire gonna do?
Shopping montage.
You're right. We need a shopping montage. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
we need
so
disguises on a
different.
puppet.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
kind of like leather, black leather, tailored maybe.
Oh yes, black leather.
I was
We
hoping
all need a
Edsley.
gold. We all need a gold watch.
Oh, and we all
watch.
need gold watches. Yes, I was hoping Edsley
Yes.
would go and dress me like a sort of pimped out underworld boss.
Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Pimp my
You're getting a fur coat.
criminal.
And what's Claire
Hit
gonna
my
do?
vadan.
Claire, what are you gonna do this whole time?
What do you need me to do?
You're one of the group. So golden watch.
You're
lady.
part of the Golden Watch.
Mhm.
So you're kind of just hired muscle.
Yeah.
So you need to go get some clothes that make you look like hired muscle.
We're all gonna wear black with gold watches.
Gold watches. She's a rather petite lady and is very curious about this muscle idea.
Oh,
Can you do you have any like piercings? A lot of it is attitude.
anything
Maybe
with
some
spikes?
tattoos.
No, I when we go to the store, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, for God's sakes. Maybe she could be your girlfriend, Preet.
You're plus one.
Yeah, I mean, don't they all have like
Oh my God, she can be like the one that's there to like look at all the like to potentially buy some like something like some luxury item.
Oh, my appraiser. Yes,
Ooh,
because
that's
I'm
good.
there to.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm actually
Oh,
there
yeah,
to
yeah,
purchase
yeah.
as well. We're not just selling.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
buying.
yeah. Yeah.
So I need my appraiser there. Be good if we knew some of the things on the list so we could look them up and make our way a bit
Well,
easier.
I'm sure there will be like an
Oh.
auction. There's usually a list on already.
She
Claire,
has.
do
She
you
would
know what's
know.
there?
She's got a list for you.
Right, she
What?
would know. She's already
Yeah.
she's already been
She was
there.
there.
Awesome.
It's already been
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Well, she's already gonna be there.
She's already going to be there. Yes.
That's
This
Time is
is
stupid.
the bid. So she lets you know that she was with all the jazz. She was only able to get the first bit of the list. So this is kind of the show starters. Like this is the opening band.
Oh wow. Okay.
A
whoa.
dragon. I want a fucking
Okay.
dragon.
She explains that those are parts of dragon. Like it's not actually alive.
Oh,
I want dragon.
painting
Dragon parts.
childhood. What the fuck does that mean?
But the painting is called Childhood. It's very
Oh.
famous. You uncultured swine.
Uncultured swine.
Golden bird.
The spell book.
Would I
Deck
know
of
who
magic?
Eseldor is?
Don't
Would
mess
you
with
need
decks. Never mess
Roll
with
a
cards.
history.
I mean, he is a fellow wizard, I'm assuming.
He's a fellow.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There's a lot of wizards. How famous is he? I
Oh,
don't know.
nailed it.
Oh, snap.
Okay, now I have to look it up. Give me a second.
That's why you always let them roll before you look
No.
anything up.
Because yeah, if you rolled low, I was not going to look this up, but apparently now I have to look it up. It's like, okay, well, what's in this book?
What's in the book?
I'm interested. What's the deck of magic?
It's very expensive.
Yeah, I know it's more expensive than dragon parts.
I
or an
don't
entire
trust.
manor.
In D&D, I don't trust any sort of deck.
I mean,
You don't
really
trust
shouldn't.
anything in D&D, Ed, no matter what it is.
I don't even
Blanket-
trust myself.
This is suspicious.
You traitor.
It's true.
A skeleton become controlled by a fish. I don't trust me. Like, I'm clearly up to something.
Bowling boat?
You're up to something. Look at me. I'm a snake woman who was an ex-criminal.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
it is a
criminal.
boat that folds. It's neat. It's a neat little
It's a
magic
boat.
item.
I think
That
that we need to
boat.
play in the range of the Ion.
Ion stone.
Stone?
Ion.
Ironstone.
Yeah, because the other stuff is
For
too
the
cheap,
5,000s.
and the other stuff is too expensive.
Let's
But
get dragon stuff.
we could pull off $5,000. People would believe that we were in the market
Yeah.
for that. I think.
I mean, that
Dragon
seems a reasonable price for at least
Dragon.
the dragon you.
I'm not looking to buy. I'm looking what we can plausibly.
No, I know.
Bullshit.
Tome of
dragon.
what's it called?
So these, by the way, are the starting bids. This is not what you
Mhm.
buy them for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are the opening bids. They will ease, like, this is the
They
lowest
will easily go
anyone-
up in price.
Mhm.
Oh God, yes. They can get easily double or triple the amount without blinking an eye.
But I
Yeah.
think our cover story is we're here for
Yeah.
the Ion Stone.
Yeah. So if you're aiming for that, you can probably,
Yeah.
depending on how much someone else wants it, you're probably looking close to buying it at closer to 15 to 20,000 gold pieces.
But also, Claire, is that something you could fake your way through appraising?
Probably.
All right. We're gonna
Well, I
Ocean's
think
11 this
the
shit.
also I think the book of strength thing is probably in that same
I
starting
would say,
range
yeah.
Mhm.
because I think it's a very rare item. So I think
I think it is. This is entirely based on
that's kind of
entirely
what I've-
based on rarity. So very rare things are around 5,000. Legendary things are around 50,000. Starting bids, at least.
Yeah. Okay, it's more, and the spear is probably 500. The fancy spear, but it is a fancy spear.
Mm-hmm.
The
I'd have to. I have to.
fancy
I don't remember where I put my notes about that book, but it's a spell book. Oh God, I forget what spells it's got in it. It's got like 5th level spells or some garbage.
Well, I just need to know what kind of magic he would have been.
I will find my notes on that. I don't know where I put them.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's more if he's
They
like,
exist somewhere.
if he's a fellow necromancer, then I might be interested in seeing his notes. If he's a like,
I feel like I made it to entice you, so there's a good chance that it is. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I made it so that you'd be interested in it. I just don't know. I don't know where my notes are for that at the moment.
Knowledge.
I have to dig them up. I have lost my notes. Or
knowledge.
may have
Say
thrown
it
them out
is.
in my
Let's-
excitement.
Let's just say it is.
It's a necromancy book. Honestly, I honestly probably made it that way, so that you could, so that you'd want to buy it.
I mean, I probably have the spells already. At least some of
I
them.
doubt it. I think I made it high. Like I remember making it so that it's like it's something.
Oh yeah.
As we're
but
doing this,
I'm-
I'm reminded of Ocean's 11. I had to actually look up the line. It's Brad Pitt saying to George Clooney off the top of my head. I'd say you're looking at a Boski, Jim Brown, a Miss Daisy, 2 Jethros, and a Leon Spinks. Not to mention the biggest Ella Fitzgerald ever.
There you go. I like that. That's great.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a heist.
What we're doing.
And we
Welcome to the heist
Wow,
part of D&D.
Yeah.
you could
Oh,
literally
hell yeah.
you could literally buy
I have been
a
waiting for
house.
this moment for so long.
A manor.
There's a house on sale. Great.
Mhm.
It's a manor in the city of Lions, in the capital.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna go there. That seems like a bad idea.
Okay,
we
we'd
got-
have a retirement home.
Yeah.
You would have a retirement home.
Deep within the enemy's headquarters. That's a great idea. That couldn't possibly go wrong.
Oh, okay. I remember
hide in plain
now.
sight.
So without being able to look at the book,
obviously
yourself, because and Claire didn't look at it, so she has no idea.
I just know who he is.
You do. You could take a guess, a gander at him having a 7th level spell in there that you could copy, a 6th level spell in there that you could copy, and 5 5th level spells.
Well, I wouldn't be able to cover the 7th one quite yet because I don't have spell slots for it, but it would be there.
Yeah. So.
And was I very correct in assuming he's a necromancer? It would be
necromancer.
Correct.
So
okay, well,
very good chances are necromancy spells.
I will definitely be bidding on that.
Well, then we definitely have to make sure the auction doesn't blown up.
Well, it's also a question of if I have that much money. I don't.
All right, so give me my motivation. I'm a mob boss, an up-and-comer, I'm a scrapper, arrogant, I got swagger.
You could be a mob boss that just came into new money and you're excited to show it off. And you have you're enthusiastic about weaponry.
Yeah. I'm a bit obsessed with knives and stuff.
You're the kind of rich person that likes to go to the gun range and you're terrible at it, but everyone tells you that you're good.
There's no
guns. Yeah.
They fake their where you actually hit when they shoot.
I think that's more you, Etsley. No, I mean that's a fake. I mean, they're going to the weapons range. That's. I'm more about the cash. I think.
No. You're there to show off. You're not there to like actually practice. You're like.
Thank God.
You've never practiced using a weapon in your life.
That's why I have Felix.
Everyone tells you that you're really good at it, including Felix. Felix, like 100% tells you, like, yeah, you're really good at this, but you're absolute garbage in it.
Oh yes, get used to saying yes, boss.
Like people get into fights with you and you win all the time, but Betsley has paid them all off to throw fights.
Yeah,
and I'm silent.
All right, that's part of my
that's what Etsley does. Etsley clean, like, she's like, all right, you throw the fight, you'll get some, you get 5 gold for that, and one,
make sure.
And I'm the silent money. I'm the silent, mostly silent money man with a puppet.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Hey, but you're good with numbers.
Yes.
That's the important part. As long as you know count from 1 to 100, you're good.
You're the slightly crazy guy that's really good with numbers.
Yep.
2.
All right. So, what is the first thing you all want to do? You have 3 months. What is
shopping montage.
Shopping montage.
Disguises.
Well, should we do that in Slinton?
Shopping montage.
So we're going there anyways to have the guns made.
Yeah. Should we travel back? We can get everything we need in Slinton, right?
Back to the future.
Well, that's where we are. We're trying to get there, but we're not trying to get there through time travel. We're trying to get.
Well, kind of we are, because we're spending time.
Muffin, stop ruining my reference.
Don't fuck your own mom. You will disappear.
Good advice.
All right. So, first to Slinton, is that your plan?
I mean, we can probably get the disguises there, and it's where we need to go to have help. Have
to re-meet Sakharin.
Well, we're gonna meet him as our new selves.
Oh, it's true. The other one who's met them are Etsley and Felix.
Felix, you're gonna need another name.
Yeah. He hasn't met. He has not met Preet.
Nope.
I'll be Blackjack Birdie.
We should all have other names.
That's right. Blackjack Birdie.
Yeah, we got a role play within a role playing game.
I gotta pick a new name for myself. I'm gonna pick a drow name because I think the best disguise for me is to just make myself look 100% drow, since I already look mostly drow.
Make sure you got like one of those gangster names like Mad Eye or the Foot. Yeah, we'll just call Goldie here the we'll call him the fish.
Yeah, Claire will remind you that you all are relatively close to her invading Slinton. So you got to have your timing right.
Oh shit.
I remember that. Esley's gonna like put her arm around Claire and be like, I remember those days.
So if you
and
want to go to
give her like a
Slinton,
cheeky smile.
remember you drag Saccharin around a lot after that.
Fuck.
So he's
Could you make them without his help? The guns?
I probably could.
It's a question of
I know my new name.
It's a question
Talon.
of Ooh, that's good.
Talon will be my
All right.
disguise name. Talon. I need to type that down. I'm going to type that down next to my name.
I'll just be the puppeteer.
The puppeteer.
Reed is going to be Philomora.
Ooh, Philomora.
Like it.
that.
Talon, the puppeteer, Philomora,
Sorry.
Blackjack Birdie.
Blackjack Birdie.
Oh goodness.
That's mixing both cards and golf.
I love that we are play acting within a play acting. Like, I love that. It's just went all in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be this
Another
character
way.
acting like this other character. We're gonna play D&D and D&D.
Yeah.
Our D&D characters get to play D&D.
Going undercover.
Remember D&D D&D characters play like a version of D&D, but it's set in our world, so it's like Texas and like suburban.
Oh yeah,
life.
they sit around and role play going to the vet. That's what they do. That's what the people in the D&D world. They're like, hey, I want to role play going to the vet and sitting in traffic.
I need to role play a lot.
They play suburbs and SUVs.
All right. I've actually changed my name on the screen.
All right, so do you still want to go? So now that Claire's reminded you that she invades Flinton in like a month, do you still want to go to Flinton?
Well, we have to be in and out of there in a month, right? I mean, how long will it take us to get there?
Oh, Saccharin was also like gone for like a week.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
So let's
I mean, there are other artificers in the
It was
city.
a whole city full of gnomes and magic shit.
Yeah, so there might
So
be
we could
someone
probably
else who.
find someone else.
or well, what about right here so we don't have to travel? Like what about the City of Lions or
So you
wherever it
are
is?
nowhere near that. You guys
Okay.
are
We're up here.
Yeah, you guys are up here. Yeah.
by the
there any
everlasting top?
Yeah. So
We're in
Sock is in
Historia.
the everlasting tops.
We're in
Um,
Historia.
Yeah.
We're in Historia.
The city of Lions is the capital of Leonis. That's where the king lives.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to go to.
He's not going to see us.
But that's that one place that you really wanted.
All right. So in the everlasting top, where's the city that we
There
could
another
go
city?
to?
They're probably that's a whole dwarven country, pretty much. So kind of like the Underdark, it's connected with tunnels and shit, and there's different cities. You've been to Sock and already forgot the name of the other city you'd been to where you met the king. It had a name, but you'd been there. So you can, it's in a similar way, you kind of just you can go to different cities in these mountains, and they're all going to be dwarven cities.
Doesn't really help us, does it?
Not really.
Is there anywhere where in this area on the way?
How are you going to find that out? You're in a different country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
I don't even know where Estelle is originally from.
Hey, okay, so we also have our interns here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so they're gonna have to be in the gang too. But all right,
They can
so
just still be interns.
Probably.
were there any in that place that we were at? Oh God, where was it? The place where they had the people who took our intern.
Are you talking about the
sex-
strip club?
The strip
Yeah,
club?
yeah.
Was it
Chastity.
Ambergate, right? Ambergate?
Oh yeah,
Ambergate,
where
yeah.
we haven't trashed their reputation yet.
Yeah, Ambergate. I
Not
have that
yet.
written out. Yes, Ambergate is a place.
Did they have
It's a place
anything?
that you were there like a week before you arrived at SOC, so you're not going to be there for another like 2, almost 3 months.
All right. Did they have anybody like artificers there?
Well, there's a lot of dodgy people running around.
There's a lot of dodgy people
Yeah.
running around there.
Yeah.
The whole thing
I
is
mean, that's
dodgy
where we
people.
found our wanted posters.
There's a hive of scum and villainy.
But the question is, do we need another artificer?
To help with the
Could you-
guns, she could probably
Well,
do
could you-
better on her rolls.
Yeah, Felix is good, but she's not. She's brand new at this whole shit.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's her
it's,
first
it's
time.
more like, yeah, I know, but it was more like, there's also a risk in doing that, in getting someone to help.
You'll also kind of
Artificer's first
Felix
time.
would also know that like she can make magic items and make shit, but like one person making this is gonna take you like you get
Yeah,
two
okay,
people
no.
making it, you're gonna
Yeah,
double it.
I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to ask just to make sure. Okay.
So you could I mean it's a sketchy ass place. You could probably find, if nothing else, you could probably find information on where to find like someone else to help you out.
Other
I could
sketchy
do
ass
that.
people.
Us other sketchy ass people, but
Is
it's
there-
mostly filled with sketchy ass people. It's more like a really underground Las Vegas than anything else.
I could definitely find us someone.
Yeah, there's probably someone there. They're probably sketchy. They'll probably scalp you, but
We can go mine some of the God's Dream. We know where it is.
you do know where the
That
God's
is
Stream
true.
is.
We can just go there
Although that
before
would-
he gets there.
You know
As long as-
exactly where it is, and
as long
you
as there's
also
some-
know that the other guy hasn't found it yet because he hasn't
Yes.
been there yet.
As long as we leave something, we won't fuck up the timeline. We could potentially
There you
just go there and sell that.
Get more Godstream?
You have a
nobody
map to the
knows
God's Stream.
nobody knows where we what it is. So I'd like to have both. I'd like to have some guns. I'd like to have some Godstream. Yeah, I think
As
we
long
can
as
do
we
that.
leave as long as we leave enough that he still finds it.
Mm-hmm. Guns
You
and
can leave the
Godstream.
pieces that you found behind,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think the last time, I mean, you didn't spend a whole lot of time trying to dig it up. Like you spent
We mined a
a
bit.
couple of
but that's about it.
hours with a single mining pick to do it after you just lost everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it
so-
was just Felix and Etzley who were really able to do anything.
So I don't
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
the only two survivors. If you take all 6 of you
And
there
some equipment.
with equipment, you can actually like mine Godstream.
Yeah.
And as long as you leave behind the pieces that you found already, you won't mess with things.
That
I
sounds
don't
like a
think
good idea.
I don't
We
think
could
that's
do
a bad
that
idea
for-
because it's an unknown item,
Mm-hmm.
but it's clearly magical.
Yeah.
And we can demo it because we already had
We
it
can
working.
Demo
We-
it easily because some of
Demo
us
it
already
because
have
we
it on
kind of
armor.
because we do know how it works.
And we can have some actual samples for them to inspect. If we have smaller pieces, we can keep the
Yes.
larger pieces safe, and you can
Yes.
actually make some money.
Yeah.
Plus, we would have a lot of
Okay.
Godstream that we could potentially use after this.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
6 of you working at it, you could have a lot.
And
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
also avoids us interacting with anybody. I mean, other than going out for food, and
Yeah.
coming back.
And of
Mhm.
course, shopping spree.
But
Shopping spree.
do we still want to make the guns?
Um,
What are you thinking, Felix?
we need weapons. I want to have weapons
Okay.
in there.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
yeah.
It is our.
Well,
it is our
Felix
thing,
can.
kind of.
We can split the party, but if Felix can stay for at least a couple weeks working on guns while we get going on the mining, then she can always
You
join
just
us
need
later.
somewhere to.
Yeah.
Well,
I
would
was
you
about
need
to say
someone
we
to
can
help
split it
you, or just a place where there's like a proper
Proper
workshop?
equipment.
Would that be enough? Or would you actually need someone else's help? Because those two things are quite different. You
Yeah,
probably
I
rent
think
a workshop.
it would be if all I'm looking for is to get enough for us to have a bunch of weapons there so that we have ready weapons ready to go, we were ready, they were all set because we were going to demonstrate them for the auction, and they're there and they're ready to go and ready to, we've all learned how to use them. Well, it won't be, a couple of our wizards won't be able to do that, but we have some fighters here who could learn how to do it.
Yeah.
It's also a question of how many would we need for it to bring to the auction for it to be convincing.
Dozen? 2 dozen?
Well,
I could probably do a dozen.
Yeah.
If I can find somebody to help me, maybe I can find 2 dozen and spend some money on it, because we're going to make the money back up with a Godstream.
Yeah.
And if you need help finding someone, I can do that. But that would mean we'd need to split the party and have a God's Dream squad and a gun squad.
I think Esley wants to be on this gun squad.
Well, I mean, if you're going to traverse the underground criminals for a helper, I would be helpful.
Yeah, finding information. Do we want to split the
so
pot?
I think Esley and Felix could split, and you guys could split.
Yeah, and we can
with everybody else.
And we'll take the interns.
Claire
and you obviously be going somewhere where you could actually buy stuff, so you would be buying their disguises too, I assume.
We'll buy the disguises.
Well, we can all go to town, and then Sock. We're not going towards Sock. I guess it's the Amber Gate, and then it's Slinton farther back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go underground. I mean, again, there's probably where you are. You just haven't left your little.
No, we're still planning out
thing. But you probably you don't have a map, but there's probably a city or a town nearby, for you guys to get there. If you want to go underground, you're gonna have to go. You're going to have to go back into the Underdark again, and you remember how much of a hassle that was. It's not going to obviously take you as long because you know how to do it this time, but it's going to take you a bit to go back into the Underdark.
I think. Do we have a plan here? Get some disguises, get some guns, get some Godstream, go and impress the blacksmiths, so we get invited to the thing. We're at the thing. We prevent history.
We prevent thing.
We prevent history from happening.
You guys are done after, say, a month's worth of mining and a month's worth of working, we all meet in Ambergate, go back to Sock, and by then, with travel and everything, that will be 2 months. Probably not even. It's probably a week to get.
Well, it also depends on how long it's going to take to get underground, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. I figure about a week.
One of you, just as a reminder, has a book of maps for the Underdark.
I do. Yay! So can I guess about how long it will take if somebody helps me?
If you want to roll survival with your map, I think your map already gives you. I forget what I said. It gives you advantage. I think it already gives you advantage just to use your maps. I think that's what that item did.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So I don't think you really need someone to help you because you're going to be out of 13. Okay. So, what you can find with the 13, just because you haven't actually looked at where you are on the surface, but with the 13 you have. You can easily get from Sock to Ambergate within 5 days.
All right. So a week to get to Ambergate. From there, it was only a few days to the mines.
Yeah.
It was less. It was. Oh yeah, I forget how long it was. Yeah, a couple
maybe.
Of days.
Yeah, I think
it was about a couple of days.
The problem is, of course, that we need either Felix or Esley there at the mine because they know exactly where it is and what pieces was taken and wasn't taken.
So that means one of us needs to go with the.
Yeah, which would be Esley because the other one has to be in the gun room because they're making the guns.
You could probably, or maybe Claire. Claire, are you good with are you better with mining, or are you better with finding out criminals?
Finding out criminals.
I don't know.
I'm a diplomat.
All right, you have a criminal.
Well, I played dives.
Yeah, I'm not sure she's got a criminal
how-
background.
How
Not
about
a
this?
criminal, but like you've at least
She's sketchy.
you can be
Yeah, I've lived
sketchy.
on the
She's
world.
charismatic
I have
and can
an
probably
idea.
get information out of people.
I have an idea.
Okay, what's your idea?
Okay, so, what gate? What's the name?
Ambergate.
Ambergate.
Okay, I was about to say Angel Gate. Okay, Amber Gate. Amber Gate is on the way to the mines.
Yes.
So we can all stop and I can go ask real quick before going to the mine.
That works.
Okay.
yeah,
'Cause I'm
it's
sure
pretty
asking's
much.
not going to take that long.
Yeah, from SOC, it's pretty much. I think Ambergate's their last stop, and then like 2 days later, it's the mines, and then like 2 more days, it's Flinton if you really want to make it, and then Jocelyn.
Yeah. So I can ask for you, Felix, and then after that, me and the mining team can go.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe keep one person behind. Maybe Tiaho or
Yeah, Tiago can stay.
yeah,
Tiago or Bruno.
somebody. I don't want to keep Bruno back.
You want him to be an adventurer?
Worried that he's gonna be flirting all the time.
Yeah, I need
That's
somebody who's
true.
gonna
We'll take Bruno.
guard. Yeah.
We'll take Bruno. You can take Tiago.
No,
We
we're
don't
trying to
want
keep him away from
Bruno.
the bar.
Yeah, away from the bar.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to keep him, not let him go into that one
brothel.
that one bar,
Yeah.
because he's gonna be there
Or
later.
any of them.
Or
Ch-
any-
Yeah,
Club Chastity, that's what it was called.
I think we have a plan.
All
Okay.
right.
Let's execute. Don't forget
Okay.
shopping spree.
All right. So first off, you got to make it to SOC. That's your first order of business. You have no idea where you are, besides north. You know what country you're, but you haven't actually left your temple here. So as you well, I'm assuming you're going to spend the night because it's like the middle midnight
Yeah.
at this point. So
Yeah.
spend the night up and early the next morning. Sun coming in through the big old hole in the ceiling. And you find yourself as you step out, you find yourself in what appears to be a fairly dense jungle. Jungly birds making jungle bird sounds. And it's hot and humid and gross here, as jungles are. And whoever wants to try, you don't really have a map of the surface, so you're just gonna have to
We can see the
figure
mountains,
out your
though,
best. Oh, can you see mountains?
They are
There's a
pretty big.
question.
We're in the
Yeah,
middle of a
yeah.
dense jungle, so probably
You're in a
probably
dense jungle.
right? Well,
Yes. So I mean, what are you gonna do? What do you want to do to navigate? I guess I should ask.
Okay,
Felix
so-
puts on her flying shoes
Yeah,
and she
that's what I
goes
was
up
about to say.
above the jungle to go looking for a mountain.
Okay. There, yeah, you can
works.
fly. So you're just gonna fly up over the treetops. That's your goal.
Take a good
Um,
look.
Do your
turns out it's
perception.
infinitely high trees.
Yeah, perception.
Just this
They're not
jungle.
infinitely high.
This jungle is dense in all three dimensions.
Yes. Yes.
Wait a sec. I'm gonna look.
Okay.
Oh, damn it.
Dig it indeed. Unfortunately, you're doing this way too early in the morning, and like you make it past the treetops, but just it is foggy as all hell. It's all humid and gross, and you can't quite get your bearing. You can see where the sun is, so you have a pretty good idea of which way north and south is. So you do know at least that much. just from the description that Claire has given you in your basic geography, you know that the everlasting tops are south of Historia. So if you head south, you're going to eventually hit them.
All right, so I point everybody kind of south and say, we'll at least start. But I can't see shit from here. It's all foggy.
Yeah, it's all gross and foggy right now.
If you want, I can try climbing up and taking a look.
Well, that's not gonna help
Yeah.
if it's
yeah, it's still foggy
We'll
out.
just walk for a bit.
Mm.
Then we
Yeah,
can
we'll
try.
walk for a bit.
Give it a little walk. Okay.
I'll fly just so that I can keep an eye on things.
Keep an eye on things. All right. With all of your walking, eventually somebody roll me a perception.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, you do it.
Oh damn, that's with a 10, 13.
So you walk in what Felix has told you is generally south. So you walk southwards. It's loud, and again you have animals, just birds just squawking away. You hear the noise of streams. And you spend most of the day just kind of walking south. It's a bit of slow going. It's a dense jungle. You take apart your carts and whatnot, because there's no way you're getting a cart to roll. Like, there's no roads. You're not getting that. The nice part is you have animals to stack it on top of.
and we
So
also
you have to
weapons to cut through the jungle.
Yeah.
It's a bit of slow going without being able to find a road for your first day. So unfortunately, you don't quite make it as far as you think you can. Do you want to keep pushing into the evening, night I should say, or do you want to take it easy?
I don't think pushing through during the night in the jungle is a good idea.
Yeah, it's probably
Let's
better
camp.
to make a campfire and.
Okay. All right. Next day, who wants to figure out how to get to Sock? Who's the next person who wants to try it?
I can try climbing up the tree.
You can do me an acrobatics.
Dokey. Heh.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Like a flying squirrel. I don't know why, but it's like just is a flying squirrel. Climbs up to the top of the tree. You can't. It's still foggy. Mornings are just foggy, but you can actually see the tops of the everlasting tops, giving you more importantly, you can see the highest peak. Again, from general geography, you know that Sock is kind of underground of the one of the higher tops, so you have a pretty good idea which way to go. What are y'all gonna do about the jungly bits? You gonna still try to just power through?
Well, we don't really have a whole lot of choice.
Well, while I'm up here, I can look around and see if I can see some kind of like road. There has to be some kind of like breakage in the trees to where it would hint at a road.
You can do perception while you're up here.
Oh, 15. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. I need a dice.
Is that when we use the teleportation porn?
Teleportation porn. Okay. So there you see a couple of clearings, but two of them they're out of the way. Like, one of them is north, which is not the direction you want to go. But you see there is a clearing to the north. There's another one to the west, and then a third clearing to the south.
Okay, I'll let everybody know that there's some sort of clearing to the south and I'll point in the direction that could be a road, and then I'll also point in the direction of the highest peak and be like, yeah, that's the direction we need to be going.
Well, we don't have any other choice.
Okay. So somebody, whoever wants to lead the group, do me a survival.
Who's got
That's the
survival?
highest.
Let's see. I think it's a 6.
I have a +1.
I have +2.
All right.
Great. Survive us. Help us survive.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, not I.
We're hopeless
12.
without Herrick.
You are, guys. Yeah, without Herrick, it's everyone's lost all the time in the woods. All right. So you do eventually make it to the clearing. Unfortunately, as it turns out, the clearing is really just a small pond. That doesn't actually lead you to a road. But you have definitely made it much closer to the mountains at this point. Once the fog goes away, you can all, especially once you hit the pond, you can all really like, there they are, they're there. You all have a pretty good idea how to get there. So getting lost is going to be a little bit harder.
Didn't find a road,
point.
but finding the pond was a good idea.
Yes, yeah. You still got something out of it. You can now see the everlasting tops, at least from right here. So we're gonna call this day number 2. Okay. Who wants to try the next day on how to get there?
Does anyone have a good nature?
I have a +5.
Only 2.
I have a +4.
I have +6.
Okay.
But I actually have better perception than nature. So.
What about Claire? She has the whole calculating using the stars to calculate where you are. That might help us. Like to at least keep on track.
Yeah.
Claire's
You
part of
want
the
Claire
team
to
now.
do
She has to help
something? What do you want to ask Claire to do?
Keep.
She's a sorcerer, so she whatever her casting thing is charisma, right? Got charisma things.
Yeah. No. What I mean is like she had the whole like using the watch and the sextant thing, so like calculated. But that's what.
Yeah, I mean, she knows where she is, like on a globe, but she doesn't have a map of.
No, but it's at least like, are we still going?
Yeah. Oh yeah. At this point, you definitely know you're going towards the everlasting tops.
That's not gonna help as much.
She can give you big picture stuff. She just can't give you a little.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't have a map of roads or anything.
Somebody help me work. Does it have to be just me? Can somebody
If you can figure out a way for someone to help you, how's someone going to help you?
I would like somebody whoever is the second best at nature or at survival. Either
I think
one.
I'm probably the second best at nature with a +5.
Yeah, I mean, let's see where we know where a pond is. We know where we're going. Let's see if we can't figure out what is the most easy way to get through. Place with the least brush that allows us some.
The pond is presumably being fed by something, and that stream would be running. That water would be coming down from the mountains.
All right, so let's see if we can't figure out
that we can a river we can follow.
The nature, our natural talents together.
So natural.
22.
Okay. Yeah, Horatio, he likes water. He lives in it. So he's all like, water. Let's follow the water. And so there's a nice little cold spring, which Horatio does accurately point out is probably made from the ice and snow at the top of the mountains. And so
water.
Yeah. So you follow those.
Of course you smell water. You're in water.
So that by the end of the day, the jungle starts to clear away and you start to arrive at the rocky surfaces of the bottom of the mountains. So you have made it to the everlasting tops. At least the bottom of them. Now you gotta figure out how to get inside of them. It's your next job.
We asked for consent first.
Felix,
yes.
Does that map indicate where the entrances might be, as well as inside where the?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, do we have a map that lets us know where the entrance to the?
You have a bunch of maps in that book. If you want to spend some time going through them,
I will spend some time.
Yeah, you can roll survival, see how
13.
13. You can find sock, but you can't seem to like a lot of these are just kind of underground maps, not necessarily like above
is
ground.
that?
Ooh, that's a lot of music.
That is loud.
So yes, you have you know how to get to sock from underground, but you don't know how to get from above ground to underground.
Well, I mean, presumably, if we just find a cave, that's.
Well,
It might just
problem
be
with
a
that
cave.
is, yeah, it could just be a cave, and we could wander around in a cave and get nowhere. So, no, we want to get to Sock. At least we don't have to go inside Sock. We could just bypass it because we know.
Hold on, here's a question. The streeters naturally want to be in the Underdark, presumably. Like, they presumably have a natural talent for like being in the Underdark since the Underdark creatures. Maybe they can figure out where the entrance is through instinct.
You want the streeters to roll in nature survival? I'm not sure their stats are that high at all.
Yeah.
I don't even know what their stats are. They're not that high.
Probably not. Okay.
All right. So
it was worth an attempt.
So we have to get to the other side of the mountain, is what you're telling us, basically?
You have to get inside of the mountains.
We have to find an entrance to the Underdark, and right now the only thing we know is that we can get out of the Underdark in Zerg. But I mean, there's presumably an entrance into Zerg.
All right, I will climb the mountain. Somebody.
You're gonna climb the mountain.
That's gonna be several days.
You're at the base of the mountain.
But I'm really good. I'm really all right. All right. The things I'm good at are acrobatics, arcana, and stealth.
I'm good at arcana, history, investigation, medicine, and perception.
Investigation. You can investigate.
I mean, it is a +9, so yeah.
What would investigate for?
Well, I'm gonna look for caves that look like they might go into the Underdark. Like, does the Underdark have a certain smell that might come up through the?
Well, Preet could Preet maybe help by knowing, like, if she got to the Underdark, maybe she's, heard some rumors of entrances where she could help identify it.
I mean, it's just gonna be caves, and some of them will lead to the Underdark. Some of them,
but she may have heard rumors. She may have heard things.
So
that's true.
Okay.
Like some people leaving a sign outside, or kind of, like a certain.
Yeah, you don't know.
Or like
Like that.
traces of Underdark creatures that might have wandered up.
Man. Okay. All right. With both of you together, with Preet kind of like, I know rumors of like, if you see 3 rocks stacked on top of each other, that means there's a tunnel entrance nearby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And kind of points out some of those like secret codey things that people leave behind to signal that there's entrances, and not just like some random dead end cave. So with her help, you can do your investigation.
Mm-hmm.
With advantage or just normal?
Yeah, you can do it with advantage since you guys are putting your heads together.
Oof.
Oh my goodness, you have advantage. That is for the +9. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Bad. Oh goodness.
15 is probably not going to be enough.
Gosh. No, not really. I was like, I should be nice, but no, not really. You're looking for entrances.
Yeah, no, it's a really hard thing to find. Like,
yeah.
It's not,
I mean, you find lots of caves. You did manage to figure out lots of caves. Like, you find 2 caves that have potential, but you're definitely like none of them had the things that Preet said to look out for. You found caves. Well, they may
not all the entrances might not be marked.
Yeah, so they may lead to the Underdark, but they definitely don't have the things that for sure lead to the end or lead to cities or whatever in the underground.
I could look for Thieves' Cant and see if there's any Thieves' Cant markings.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, do your investigation for Thieves' Cant.
Here we go. Eep.
There we go. Yeah. One of the tunnels or caves that Horatio points out does actually have a little sign that pretty much says entrance. So it says entrance. What you're not sure of is if it's an entrance to a hideout or an entrance to more.
Hmm.
All right, so the Underdark is a magical place, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
And Felix is pretty well acquainted with it. Maybe can she use her arcana senses to get a vibe off of it?
Get a vibe, an Underdark vibe.
Like, does this feel like Underdark magic, or does this feel like nothing, like just a hideout?
Does this entrance have an Underdark vibe?
I like this.
Well,
Does it have
is
mushrooms?
the magical Underdark aesthetic here?
Oh,
The dice aren't helping us tonight.
I will use a luck point. 28.
Okay, so Etsley points you towards the one that says like entrance in Thieves' Cant, and one of the caves that Horatio kind of pointed out, and you head over there and you stick your arms out, kind of like a sensing the air. You're almost, what do they call, a divination rod kind of thing. You're like,
dowsing rods, yeah.
And it's like you get nothing out of this. You're like, it's an entrance, but I get nothing out of this one. So you head on over to the other cave that Horatio pointed out. And the other cave actually does seem like you get the faintest scent of magicalness coming from that one.
This is the jam. This is the place. We can get in.
Let's go.
And once we're in, we have the map. We can hopefully be able to navigate. Yeah, it's worth a shot.
I'm gonna head down the second cave.
Yeah.
Okay, second cave it is. We're gonna call this a night or a day of exploring.
That's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you all make before you head down into the cave, you make camp outside, and next morning, bright and early, pack up your streeters, put up your carts, ready to head on.
Zombies.
Recast the zombies. Everyone's tied up and all set. And you begin your journey. Who's navigating and how, I guess.
Well, I mean, I could try again with my survival if you guys want. It's +6.
Felix could help you with the map.
I'll help you with the map if you can use your superior...
You're still kind of at the surface, so the map has been kind of useless this high up.
Yeah. Well, I can...
I'm our sleight of hand and stealth person. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Can you keep sensing magic?
I could try to keep sensing the magic. Where does it pull me?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll help with that too.
Rod.
I'll help
We're
with that
dousing
too.
rods.
Dousing rods. All right, you have Horatio and look at that! Look at that!
Teamwork.
Lots of peoples. Teamwork.
You're
Okay.
so survival.
Oh my goodness! All the peoples. Okay, with a combination of dousing rod and Preet's nose, she follows her nose. She's like, oh, I can smell those bat things again, the umbrella things. Their droppings have a very distinct odor. Like,
that shit is pungent. I hate it.
I can tell the umbrella things are nearby.
Underdark.
You're taking notes from Herrick's book.
Let me tell you, I have been right up in their business.
They are quite smelly.
And I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't okay with me.
Trust me, I didn't either. I almost got yeeted off of a bridge.
Yeah, you did. Gosh. So you make it. You spend now with this combination of smelling and feeling for the Underdark. You make it pretty deep into the cave. Oh God, with that good of a survival, you find nice wide tunnels that make it easy for you to walk. So you don't have to do a lot of climbing or rappelling or anything. You can just kind of you find the ways to walk in a nice straight, not straight, but relatively uninterrupted line for a whole night. And it doesn't take you for a whole night, for a whole day. It doesn't take you very long before you start seeing some of those telltale signs of the Underdark, glowing crystals and mushrooms, and start to pop off until you get to something that looks rather familiar. But there's just a giant ravine in front of you, straight down.
Oh, delightful.
Oh, lovely.
Well, we love these.
You found your ravine. Now you have to go down it instead of up it. On the bright side, going down is probably easier. You just jump.
Where the streeters coming?
Parallel jumping.
Parallel jumping.
Well, I guess. We've been down we've been up a ravine, so we can presumably also go down a ravine.
So what do we
Going down is
attach
always
ourselves to
easier
our
than going
streeters
up.
via ropes in case we slip?
Well, we can just hang on to the streeters as they climb down.
I don't know. It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
they're already carrying zombies and the carts.
We should attach ourselves to each other at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had that set up from last
we
time.
still have
so-
climbing gear, don't
We
we?
still have climbing
Yeah.
gear, yeah.
I'm,
And we got Claire. Claire's really good with her arms.
With prosthetic arms, she climbs.
Yeah, catch one of us in case we fall.
Mm-hmm.
What does she have? No, I think slow fall, or the slow fall one is, I forget what it's called. Featherfall, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Featherfall.
lasts very long, so it's not going to be. It's not going to be a thing that you can just jump and turn on and hope for the best.
It's all.
Well, it would get
only
you
work-
back to the. It would get you back to the cliff because
Yeah,
you
it
can
could
kind
be-
of direct
Mhm.
Yeah.
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
if
mean, it
one
would
of us,
slow you
like,
down that you might be
slips-
able to grab if you slip, but you're not going to be able to take it the whole way down.
No, we're not going to just. Unfortunately,
Okay. Yeah. So what is your plan for going down besides tying yourselves up? I got that part.
Hmm.
What else? You've got fly.
Could
I do. I can fly and I can cast fly.
Okay.
But that's
excellent
only on
sleight
a
of hand,
couple
so I'm very
people.
good at climbing.
And for how long does it last, fly?
Wait, I'm gonna double check that I do in fact have fly. I
Okay.
don't know if I grabbed it.
What? Oh no. Why did you unknow?
I didn't
Why?
know. No, there was no. Oh no, I'm
my
just.
micro node.
I know. Oh no to myself. Sorry, that wasn't a. Oh no, something's wrong. Sorry.
Okay, I
Oh,
was
I
about
do
to
have
say,
fly.
if you know something.
Yeah. Okay.
Fly only lasts 10 minutes. It's not that.
Well, that's enough to get
useful.
us to the bottom, but we still have to get the streeters down. So yeah.
Well, I suggest
Maybe-
the streeters can climb like backwards with the
Yeah.
carts going down first, so that the carts aren't like flipping over on top of the scooters.
You tie like the way that you unpack them. You tie them onto the streeters. They're more like backpacks to them right now.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like you take them apart
That's
and
so cute.
they have like little streeter backpacks.
I'm
That's-
imagining cute little beetles with backpacks on now.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Could one of the
and
people who has
Buttercup
fly.
and Chomper could probably help with the muscle.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true. Could some of the people who have firebolt maybe shoot down some fireballs to like light the way, like in front of us, so we can like.
Yeah, I could do that.
I mean, we can light torches, and we have dark vision. But if we're able to like avoid places further down.
Claire just kind of looks at you and it's like, you don't have to make things complicated. And she brings out her little drift globe thing.
That works too. I just want to light
like
ahead of us.
you don't. Does he always make these things complicated?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just the first spell that came to mind.
She's got a little drift globe, so you have plenty of light. She'll share it.
Yeah, but is it light that will be ahead of us?
She can direct it. She just sits there and gives
Cool, because
a
then
little push down, and
that will help us navigate around. And like we are off dangerous places early.
Don't forget, last time when we climbed it, I was able to pinpoint different dangerous spots and places to avoid. Because I'm a sleight of hand person.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And I have Ray of Frost, so I could, if there's a place that like loose that we need to go over, I can secure it, like make ice on it, so to secure it.
Secure it with ice.
Well, I mean, if you
we all know how secure ice is.
No,
it's not known to be slippery.
If you freeze a loose rock in place.
Muffin.
Okay, so who's leading this, and how are we doing it?
Well, Ethley would probably be leading it.
Yeah, I could go first and like search around for spots to not go towards and like lead everybody down.
All right, go for it. You can do your sleight of hand.
My sleight of hand.
I could probably do it with her, especially because I have just as good sleight of hand as she does. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're both sleight of hand queens.
Both sleight of hands.
I don't think you do, but.
24.
24. And with Felix kind of goes ahead of you because she can fly. So she kind of just goes ahead of you and points out like potential rocks, and you go over there, put your feet on it, give it a little tap and see if it holds or not. Before climbing down with you all going this at a pretty good click. You end up making it a fair amount down. You do notice that at least on whichever side of this ravine you have ended up on, at least those damn bat things aren't bothering you like they were the last time around.
That's
with the help of Etsley and Felix, at this rate you'd probably take like 2 more days to get down to the bottom. It's not going to take you as long as climbing up. Mostly you know what you're doing this time. It's not going to take you like a whole week.
Yeah.
And so after a couple of days of slowly, poking around and tapping rocks and getting down there, you end up at very bottom of the ravine, nice and clean, no chunks of fingers and stuff like the last one. You ended up at a different you got a different spot in the ravine where there aren't the umbrella things to bother you. And welcome back to the Underdark.
Wow,
it's way faster on the way down than the way up. Now you can use your map. Now you have a whole map.
So much
right. So I guess me and Preet will hang out together with our map and figure out our way, right?
Yeah.
You could do the survival, and I'll help with the map because you're better at it than me.
No worries. 1 survival. Up. 2. Fingers crossed. Hey, all right, she's back.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. With that kind of survival, you from here, it'll take you. You found a pretty good route that'll take you about 2 days to get to Ambergate. Just kind of you get like another day before you're back on King's Road, and then once you're on King's Road, that shit's easy as hell. You're back on the Underdark highway.
Okay.
Once again, so at that point, if you want, it'll just 2 days to get there, and then I think we said another 2 days to make it back out to Godstream, but you all wanted to stop at Amber's Gate. So
yep, we need to,
you are at you're at about 10 days. You used up 10 days out of your 90 days.
Okay.
So many days.
80 days left. Okay.
And you are at Ambergate.
What does teleportation porn do?
It's a teleportation circle spell, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It's a spell scroll of teleportation.
Yeah,
it's just that I said
written by
something that it was lustful.
He described
and,
it as porn, and so
then it was porn.
I made him describe it. In
Yeah,
detail.
it's written by a bard. It's a bard who wrote down a teleportation scroll.
But otherwise, yes, I think it's just a teleportation circle.
It is, yeah.
It is. It's just you described it as porn, so
So
I made
it needs you need to
continuously
know
describe it.
another teleportation circle to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you do.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. Otherwise, it would be incredibly powerful.
As you cast a spell, you draw a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground and inscribe with sigils that link the location to a permanent teleportation circle of your choice whose sigil sequence you know. Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to know it. You need to know where it is and know what the sigils are.
Okay.
Claire, do you know any sigils?
For teleportation circles? Does she?
Does she?
Does she?
Do you, Claire?
Do you, Claire? Yeah, that's a really good question. Oh,
Do you
and an
know
18 probably does. Oh.
Surprise!
Where would
She
know?
has her own teleportation portals for when she like brings home booty.
Oh, tell me it's a sock so we don't have to climb up the ravine again. Come on.
God, where would she at? Where would she know teleportation circles to?
All sorts.
She knows one for the city of Lions, obviously, because that's the capital.
Well, that's good to know if we ever need a.
If you ever need to go
surprise
straight
attack.
to the city, yeah.
Kill
So,
everything.
okay, this is what she would know, thinking about it. So, she's a diplomat, which comes in handy because she pretty much does have, kind of like airports in modern day. There are teleportation circles in big cities, that can be used by diplomats who know who they get to write them down and use them for free. To travel around to big cities. So City of Lions, I still forget the name of the city that the king in the Everlasting Peak lives in. Yupon.
Let's call it City of
X-Mine.
Tiggers.
You guys
There's a
took
City of Bears.
you guys took an elevator up to it at some point or another.
Yeah, it's higher up than
Yeah.
Stark.
Yeah. I know that I named it something, but why didn't I write it down? That's what I get for not writing it down. But she does have one for that capital because obviously she's there. And then a couple of other cities in Leonis that she has teleportation circles for.
But wouldn't that give us because she would only be able to use it by being a diplomat, so we would pretty much be pretty clear that she's there at least twice, essentially.
She'll tell you that she walked the first time. She took a horse or
Yeah, but she would still go in. Like it would still be she would still be walking into this city afterwards. She would still be arriving twice, and she's a diplomat, so presumably someone would say, "Hey, the diplomat is here."
potentially. That's
She could use her disguise.
yeah. She
Can't use a disguise to get in because she can only use it because she's a diplomat.
Well, really,
They don't
only way you
necessarily
need
know.
to get into a teleportation circle is knowing the room.
So it's not a teleportation circle exclusive to diplomats. She can use the teleportation circle because she's a diplomat.
She uses it for free.
Yeah,
But that's why she knew it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's exclusively used for diplomats.
Okay, so we might just have
other
to pay.
people use it. People with money, people with connections.
So actually us using it might be making
Would
even more
solidify
impressive.
us more.
Yeah, potentially solidify you as like somebody that you got.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
We
sorry
have
if I
the
got
money
that
to be-
confused.
No, that's fine.
Perfect.
Cool. Then we will use the we can use that's a wait. Does the teleportation circle spell does it only teleport things within those 10? Because otherwise we're gonna have a problem.
No, you could usually, once you have a teleportation circle, it closes quick, but you can jump in.
It lasts a minute.
Yeah, you should.
No,
be able
duration
to
is
get
1 round. Sorry, it's 1 round, so that's.
Can we get the streeters and everything in through it in that time?
She also she lets you know that not all teleportation circles come in the form of pornography, and that you could probably buy more scrolls for it.
Yeah.
But the best kind come in forms of pornography. Right, Claire?
right.
She's gonna like playfully elbow Claire.
She lets you know that she can buy you non-pornography scrolls. She knows how to get those.
Okay.
All right.
So
In
yes,
case.
if you wanted to use them in that way, she can find enough that.
Yeah, because we would need to have our streeters and everything.
Probably she suggests that probably 4 of them would be enough. 1 for each streeter. You all pack on top of your streeters. You open it. You go in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Sigils. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. That seems like I think. But first, we need to find someone who can direct us to someone who can help us make guns.
All right, Edsley, you and me, we're gonna go find the gun person, and
Yep.
then
I'm gonna head out with the mining team.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. How are you gonna find somebody? Besides your kind of like, I know that you have your criminal connections, but besides that, how like, what are you gonna do to find them?
Well, I'll probably look around to see if I can find anybody. Let me think.
we knew those people also those people at the that one bar that we went to were real helpful and nice.
Yeah, but that was a strip club.
No, not those ones. The other bar.
The Fluffy Pillow?
That was a strip
Probably was
club.
That was a strip club.
Yeah.
That's also where you posted. That's the place that you posted the bounty on Scrags.
no, not that place.
Strip
The
club
place-
bounty board.
The last place that we went to, the nice one.
The nice one.
We went to a nice one.
They
Oh,
yeah.
the tour guide place, the tour guide agency place.
Yeah.
The dark sale, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, the dark sale. Well, yeah, they were really nice. They they knew you were wanted and were like just giving you a heads up. You're wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was called the dark sale. If I think so.
Yeah, we should disguise ourselves somewhat and head in and tell them we need somebody to do some artificing.
Yeah, I mean that their whole thing
okay.
is kind of whatchamacallit, information. Like that's what they sell. That the dark sale is information. So they sold you information on how to get to.
Do you want to
Self.
buy some disguise kits? You can probably buy them pretty easily.
We can do disguise self for
Yeah.
this much.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is-
right. Yeah, you both have that, so.
So
Cool. Yeah, because it's only you two that really need to go.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot. I filled up like a whole notebook. So like, why don't I have these notes? Because it's in another notebook. Because you filled up like 2 notebooks doing this thing.
You have too many notebooks.
Too many notebooks. It's not enough.
and
Too
while
many
we're
notes.
doing that, if you guys can get us some clothes and stuff, some disguise stuff, so that
Yeah, it's a puppet and.
Maybe something to disguise my scales. I mean, I can let
That's
my
just that's-
hair out of the braid and just let it go free. Maybe that'll hide some of my
I'm-
scales.
Some disguise kits should be enough for that.
Yeah.
It's literally what the item is for.
Yeah, if you're not doing anything too super crazy, it'd probably be okay.
No, I'm just making myself look more like a drow.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy. That's just
Yeah.
makeup. there's makeup in this disguise kit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding disguise kits not in this city is going to be difficult.
yeah.
So I
you-
have selected the most appropriate ventriloquist dummy I could find. It's in the Twitter.
Good. Is that okay? Let's
Oh my god, that is beautiful.
check out what Horatio is going to look like.
That was a perfect choice.
All right, I have to go
Lovely.
look it up.
Love it. Okay. We're going to stick a fishbowl in there.
Breathe. Breathe.
You broke? I don't think you can breathe.
Why did you break my man? I need him.
I can't even breathe. Oh no.
Holy shit! Where are you gonna put the fish?
Right in the stomach. Then,
right
and
in
then,
the
and then
Right
like
that's where the hand goes.
yeah, Trevor's arm can go in there, and it looks like he's puppeting it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cut like a cut a little like eye slits in it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Where the buttons are. We'll
Yeah.
put
Well, I
like buttons.
don't need to see. Like Trevor, can see what Trevor sees. I'm assuming.
Oh.
I'm sure. That's all. That's all aesthetics at this point. I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to cut out eye holes. Like I'm not going to be like you're blind because you're inside this dummy. But I think it'd be funny if you had to cut out eye holes so that you could just saying.
When he walks, you hear water swirling. The water.
You can do like the spitting trick, and you can just like pop open the mouth, and you can spit. You can like.
Oh, yeah.
Actually spit out of it.
Yeah.
Gonna be great.
You're hit
You
with
got to
the
teach
kid.
Trevor how to drink a glass of water, and you can do the bubble noises, and
Well, we also need.
you'd be really good at that.
We need some kind of mask for him so he doesn't look like a skeleton.
You
All
are
right,
gonna
well,
be.
you guys are gonna go find all that stuff. We're gonna
Mhm.
go find an
Find me-
artificer.
Find me a badass black leather outfit.
Didn't you already
Yes.
get black outfits?
I know.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
well,
you
we
picked
need-
them up.
We need
don't forget
different
the golden
ones.
watches.
Oh right, we didn't pick them up. That's right.
Yeah, I don't
Was
think.
the-
I think you
the-
ordered them, and they're still not done.
They're definitely
Fine.
still not done right now.
Yeah, they're definitely not done now.
I
They're
have
not
a
even ordered yet.
question, Claire.
Mm.
All right, so eventually, this whole thing is going to go down, right? And, it's going to be a whole thing, and we're going to triumph over our enemies and piss on their graves, right? All of that. And then
Hopefully.
there's going to be two groups of us.
Hmm.
Two Claires, two Felixes, two everybody. What happens?
One of two things. The timeline kind of snaps back into place. That makes any sense. Or we have to figure out a way to get our future past selves to go back into the temple
To complete the loop.
to complete it. Yes.
Okay.
And do what we
Just-
just did.
I'm just checking. I kind of think that it would be cool to have two Felixes, but
I'm pretty sure the known
Fair.
universe could not handle that.
yeah, fair. I can see that.
I mean, the universe can barely handle one.
I know. I've noticed that myself. Yeah, so
Yes.
fair.
Yes, the time space continuum is falling apart with just one of you here.
Mm.
Well, hopefully it's the snap, so we don't. That seems like the easiest.
Yeah, that seems like the easiest.
Mhm.
I really hope that our beloved DM makes it
Snaps
where
the
it just
timeline.
snaps.
No, you know for a fact that he wants us to like role play having to talk to past version of ourselves.
To yourselves. All right, you got to do this. I mean, you got to give them directions on exactly what they got to do so they don't mess up the timeline again.
Well, it sure is a good thing that I'm used to remembering what we did.
Last time on D&D, Micro spent the time recalling what he did the last time in D&D to his past D&D self.
Mm.
All right. So yes, Etsy. How are you? How we decide? How are you gonna do the thing? How are you gonna find somebody?
I was gonna see if I can find like
But
an
they're gonna
arms
go
dealer
to the.
and see if I can talk to them about who they know.
Oh yes, and you
I
said
thought they were gonna
going
go to the
Black
dark sale. Yeah, black
Yeah.
sale, dark sale.
Well,
Okay.
whichever.
All right. Yeah. At that point, it's really just gonna cost you money because that's
either
their
way.
job is money. So for information on an artificer that can help make guns, they are going to charge you 60 gold pieces.
Sure.
Okay.
So somebody take that out of your whatever.
I'll
60 gold
take that
pieces.
out of our kitty.
And they will give you the name of
The name that R&D is frantically trying to pull out of his butt right now.
I'm trying to find. I have all my cards and they all fell on the ground. That's them.
Making a mess.
That's them. I have like cards of piles that I set aside and I made a mess out of them. Ah, there they are. Ah. Okay. Nope. You find a gnome named Veradi.
Karate.
Veradi. Veradi Vents.
Like Ferrari, except
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
He's rather Italian looking too. You haven't met him yet, so I can't show you what he looks like. But once you meet him, he is quite the handsome man. Almost as handsome as Jack. Was it Jack?
Oh yeah, the restaurant.
Yeah.
Handsome Jack.
Damn
So yeah, he says he doesn't live too far out from here. So you shouldn't struggle too much to find him. He lives near Flinton. He's kind of a not hermit, like he likes his privacy. Hermit is not the right word. He just likes his privacy. Introvert, yeah, more of an introvert. Experiments on shit on the outskirts
Let's go invade his privacy.
of Flinton.
I'll do the invading of the privacy. You guys go mine. We're under a time thing. We'll meet back here.
All right.
Well, we have message stones. We can message stone each other.
They have.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hand you the message stone.
Okay.
Okay, so who's going where?
I'm going with the mining team.
Okay. Is Claire going with the mining team? Because Claire's got the other sending stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you hand me the other sending stone.
Yeah, I handed it to you.
So then Claire can go with you guys. I just need Tiaho, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Felix and Tiaho are off to go and barter on making guns. And the rest of you, I'm assuming you want to buy mining equipment before you decide to.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much is all the clothes and mining equipment and disguise kits and all that gonna cost us?
I'm gonna have to sit down and figure that out. That's a lot.
Like, you can just do that. You can just do that till next time. And
Yes, I will make a note that I need to find out.
I'm totally
exactly.
not going on Google Images and finding a really cool leather outfit for Etsy.
Definitely do that. How much is outfits and stuff? Okay. When are you guys meeting up again? You're splitting up. When are you coming back together?
I assumed
How much
Felix
time
would
have we
come to the
used?
mine area when she's done.
I don't know. Is that what you're doing?
Works.
That's what I
that
thought.
works.
I mean, I do have like the message stone, but yeah, like if but will you be able to get the teleportation circles?
Yeah, she can do that. I'm just gonna have to figure out how much gold that'll cost. It's something you could definitely find in Ambergate.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, just
Or Slint. She could probably maybe make it to Slinton before she invades it.
I mean, yeah, you if you come to the mine, we'll see how much we've mined because like
Mhm.
there's probably a limit to how much we can actually mine before we start messing up the timeline.
Well, there's an upper limit, but you can get a lot.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, like yeah.
So if nothing else, you didn't find a whole lot the first time you came here, and there might be a reason for that now.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go.
Mm.
It might not have been a terrible roll. It might have been that it just never existed.
Or well, it existed.
Well, it
at
did,
some
and then it
point.
got mined by you all.
Yeah.
We mined it twice.
Yep.
We double mind.
Yep.
So,
Oh, it's too
If
bad
you
you
don't
can't you can't kill what's his face before he kills you. Oh well.
Yeah, we need him to lead us there.
Yeah, you need him to kill Herrick and Shavaris.
Mhm.
Oh God.
Drainos, that's his name. Drainos.
We're gonna save those two. We'll save them. Fine.
Could we at least leave a note in there saying "fuck you, Drainos"?
Fuck you, Drainos.
Hey, you know what? I could write it in Abyssal.
Without
Probably.
messing up. Just to like give him a little like, what the fuck is that? I feel like that.
I don't know. Has Etsley shared that she's been graffitiing the past?
We've seen that.
Has she? But the rest of you know
I
that
haven't
she's been.
told anybody.
Okay. So Etsley would probably guess that you could do it and get away with it because she's done it
Yep.
like more than
She's done
once
it.
at this point.
No, I want Drainos to see it when he goes in there.
Yeah. Etsley would be the one who knows that you could probably get away with it, but it's up to her if he would share that information with the rest of you.
I might share, but I'm definitely going to do it.
So you're fairly certain that you've done it before. You have graffitied the past.
It's also completely out of character for me, especially considering I don't know him.
Hmm.
But it's in character for Esley, so.
Yeah, that's kind of why I brought it up, because I figured that's something you would want.
There you go. All right. So how much? I guess the next question is, how much time do you all want to spend mining / making guns?
I think we want to get back together with like a month or like a
But
month.
it's also going to take us a bit to actually get back to Zog.
No,
Wasn't
no.
there?
Not really, because
I mean,
no,
it'll take
we
you a
have to
little
tell-
bit. It's not gonna. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're gonna use.
Yeah, we have to tell-
it's gonna
yeah,
take
so
you
never mind.
0 time.
Yeah.
so
So. Yeah.
if we're figuring it's been what 10 days?
We've been at 10
So-
days, so you have 80 days left. I'm calling it just a flat 90 to make my life
Yeah.
easier.
Even 40 days, so we have 40 left when we arrive. I
Yeah.
don't know. That seems like a good number.
40 days. 40 days of mining and 40 days of gun making.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the gun making crew, give me a persuasion to see how much, really honestly, how much he's going to charge you to help him out, for him to help you out.
Okay. I will do that. Hang on. Persuasion's not my best, and that probably
Well,
isn't Tiago's
get-
best either.
But you would get
I'll look
Tiao
at
to help
Tiago's.
you.
Yeah, I'll look at Tiaho's.
I don't think it's her.
I don't
What
think it's
stat-
that better.
What stat is that?
But you can at least.
Charisma.
Yeah. she could at
Charisma.
least-
She has a plus
at
1
least-
to charisma, so.
Well, she could at least like help you out, I guess. So I can give you
She's
advantage.
proficient
I don't
in
know.
deception, but not persuasion.
If you can figure out a way
Oh.
to make a deception.
I am deceiving. I'm deceiving.
Okay, what are you gonna tell him? to me?
I'm telling him I'm Blackjack Birdie, the gangsta. See? Hey, see? You're gonna want to help me out, see? Because I'm Blackjack Birdie.
That sounds more like an
I think you should say C
intimidation.
one more
than
time.
a
Sounds like a
deception.
Just say C
Ooh,
one
good
more time.
deception. All right. Let's see that.
And Tiaho will help.
Yeah,
because
she's-
Yeah,
she's-
she'll help. She'll like pump you up and
Hey, all right.
Woo.
So what we'll do is he will charge you. How much is he going to charge you?
He will pay us for the privilege.
He's going to charge you. Six minus 2, 4. He is going to charge you 40 gold per thing.
All right.
Per gun that you make.
All right.
So you still don't know how many you'll get done because we still haven't done that, but it's going to be 40 gold per gun that you make.
All
He's
right.
going to charge.
Okay.
You're fairly certain you can sell for quite a bit more than that, but
Yeah.
that's his
fine.
that's his manufacturing cost.
Okay. 40 gold per.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna per gun. All right, and then this will be probably your last roll, Felix. I need sleight of hand to see over 40 days how many
With her proficiency, yeah.
with your tinker's tools, how many guns you happen to make in those 40 days.
Okay.
Sleight of hand plus your proficiency. So
Plus 4.
Ooh.
plus 4,
23.
23. Okay. 20 out of 23. So
You'll make a half a gun
half a gun. That's it. That's all you get.
to make the barrel. So it's very, very nicely done, but the rest of the gun isn't there.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Okay, so yeah. With that, you actually managed to get really good at it, especially with the help of your friend here, your new friend. And you managed to pump out. Actually, there's 3 of you working on it, right?
Mhm.
There are 3 of you working on
Yeah.
it. With you, Tiaho, and Varadi working on this continuously for 40 days. You each of you on your own managed to pump out 2 guns per day. So for 40 days, and I'm going to give you the option of telling him when to stop, because it's going to cost you 40 per thing. So at most, you can make 2 guns per day.
Okay.
So over 40
for
days.
all of us,
That's 80,
together or
80.
each.
Yes, 2 guns each.
That's-
Sorry, 2 guns each.
That would be 80 guns at 40 apiece. That's 3,200
Yes,
in total.
3,200 gold to make 80 guns.
And we would spike up the price when selling them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you can take out your 3,000, whatever that was.
200.
The 3,200, take it
Yes.
out, and now you have 80 guns.
All right.
Wow.
So can I figure out I'll go through and figure out which guns are which and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm guessing you said you wanted some that you wanted to plant, pretty much, right?
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, you can figure out which ones that you want to plant are, and let me know, because I don't have the gun manual
Yeah.
on me. I think I do,
Um,
but I don't have it open. Or maybe I do. I don't know. Sorry, I did not expect you to want to make guns, so I did not plan a gun stack.
That's fair.
That's all right.
That is not at all the direction I thought you. To be fair, I didn't actually think of I don't even know what they're gonna do. Here's your problem.
Right.
You'll solve it.
And just out of curiosity, Etsley, what's your
Yeah.
kind of would you be proficient in this if I showed you how to do it? Because I'm a fighter, I'm proficient in anything.
Is it like a martial
I'm-
weapon or a simple weapon?
I think
It's
it's
a
martial.
Okay, I'm not proficient in a martial weapon. I'm proficient in simple weapons.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I will figure something out.
Okay.
Mm.
So while you all figure that out, all right, the whole team that
It
is
a martial
mining.
weapon, yes.
Tiaho's probably proficient. She spent the whole
She's a
week.
fighter too, I think.
Yeah.
I think she's a barbarian, but even
She's
still,
She's a
she spent the whole.
She's a
Yeah.
fighter.
I think she's a fighter, so she should be proficient with anything.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's her class. I think
It
she's a
doesn't say
fighter.
on here. It doesn't say on here, but she should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember when she got made, she should be a fighter.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole God's Dream team. I need
dream team.
each of you, and we're gonna do each of you do a roll of
Okay.
athletics. I mean,
I don't like
and Claire is gonna help out as well. I mean, you're literally just doing manual labor.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Oh, this time around, since Etzli is there, she definitely tells you not to go near the pointy rocks because they bite,
Okay.
and that you can sit in the pool of water and it'll heal you.
Oh, nice.
She knows that. She knows that now
Because
Yes, I do.
because this time around she's like, yes. Don't worry about the shiny armor. I know it's shiny. I wanted to, but also those things will kill you.
Yeah, just don't touch
Don't
it.
want to repeat it then.
Ooh, Preet.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not too bad.
Ooh, Claire got a 20. Claire got a nat 20.
I actually got a decent roll despite having -1.
Bruno got
I got
a 20.
a decent roll despite having
Yeah.
a +0.
Okay, wow, we had like 3 crits. You guys had 3 crits.
we're gonna make so much
Goodness.
money.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, 3 crits. How am I going to do this?
Wow.
I made up
Guys
for
kick
earlier in the night.
Well, it's also a question of how much can we actually get? What is the upper limit before it starts becoming a problem?
Oh, there's no problem. Just shush. Shush.
There is no problem
Silence.
here.
We're gonna wreck the game economy.
You know what? We've already wrecked the timeline.
Yeah.
We've wrecked so much stuff.
Also, we have also already wrecked the game economy by getting all the money from Swinton.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
So
no.
Yep.
Well, you've hit a higher tier. Like in comparison to the people you're about to meet at this auction, you guys are poor as hell. Like you were just hitting the next upper limit.
But isn't the true value in knowledge?
Oh,
No, it's the friendship
No,
you
it's
made
definitely
along the
in
way.
gold.
Muffin, don't do that.
Definitely
Stop.
in gold. Okay.
Maybe the real treasure were the things we killed along the way.
There you go.
Exactly.
Okay. So those of you who critted, you each get to do 1d10. You can roll them, honestly. Or I can roll them. I have them here.
Okay.
1d10's worth. So for those of you who crit, we're going to treat this like a crit hit. You get to roll 2 d10s.
Okay.
And that's how many pieces of God's Dream you're going to get a day. Just a lot. Oh, but
Jesus
this is all you're
Christ, right.
dedicating yourself to it. So the ones of you who crit, Bruno, Preet, and Claire,
Yeah.
they're going to do 2d10s worth of stuff is how much they're going to
Okay. Yeah, it goes.
per day. God, that's so much. But, Ooh, 9. So you get 9 pieces per day.
Wow.
Bruno,
what do I have to roll?
2d10s for Bruno. And Claire will roll her 2d10s. Ooh, Claire got 10.
9.
9, 9, and 10. Okay, pretty average rolls, but nice. Okay, so those of you who didn't, which I think is just Horatio and Etzli.
Etzli, yeah.
God, those are really bad rolls too. Well, not really bad, but those are lower. Okay, you each get to roll 1d6, and that's how much you get per day.
Okay.
I had my mouse over the
How
D6.
many days are we mining? 30?
40.
40.
I get
One. Etsy
which
gets
matches
1
my
piece
strength.
per day.
I'm a thief person, not a mining person.
Bruno is over there with his like magic. Like Bruno's gonna be a beefcake after this.
Ooh, he's gonna impress
Yeah.
his girlfriend.
Look,
So that's
Oh,
yeah, he's got a
10.
girlfriend. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He should be able to up his strength. 40 days in the mines? Come on.
You have one. I don't think that makes his mod any higher. And have one.
It's fine. I'll take it.
Okay. So yeah, his strength's good. Okay, so
It's not letting me change. Oh wait, maybe it will.
You have to like
you have
click
to,
on
like, hit the
the
edit button or whatever.
yeah.
The
Okay, so
gears.
how much does until that's
Okay, so after 40 days, Preet is going to get 40 times 9. Hey Google, what's 40 times 9?
I'm gonna get 40.
Yes. Etsy gets 40. Horatio gets 80.
Yeah.
Can we like jump high five at the end?
Um,
Like, hell yeah, we at least got something.
10 plus 9
we guess so.
plus
God, everyone else gets,
9
like-
plus 2 plus 1.
300 and wow. Okay. Thank you a lot. Jesus fuck, you guys did so well on those rolls.
No wonder this mine was so empty by the time we got here.
31.
Yeah. Claire got 400 pieces.
Wow. I got 360.
Yeah, and so did
It's a total of 1,240 pieces.
Yep.
Damn.
And Bruno got 360.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bank.
It's 31 times 40.
Yep, 31 times 40.
I'll put it in the bio next to the kitty, just so we don't add it to the inventory, because that's gonna be a mess.
Okay, yeah. So you have gathered a lot of things. Now comes the big one, which is, can you sell it? Can you make all your hard effort turn into gold?
And is that what we're going to find out next time?
I think that's what we're gonna find out next time. Is can you my little entrepreneurs? Can you make your
Can we turn God's dream into gold?
yeah?
I mean, if nothing else, we can use it to like upgrade our own stuff and become like uber magic afterwards. Like the
Because you need
It's perfect.
400 pieces, and that's definitely. What you
It's
need.
not letting me change his base stats.
I'll try to figure it out for Bruno.
All right.
Oh,
well
But yes,
then.
I think for today we're
Cool.
and
Well then.
there, I changed it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All that's left to be said then is a thank you R&D for a fun session. I was not expecting
Yeah.
to plan a heist, but I think we did pretty well.
yeah.
It's not
And-
even a
waiting
heist
for a
as
heist.
such. It's more like a preventing. It's like
Preventing a heist.
well, we're heisting a
We need
heist.
a heist.
We're
need
heisting
a
the
heist.
heist.
Yeah.
This is a sting
heist.
for a heist.
We need a legit heist so I can use all of my skills.
You might
This
they'll
will
come in handy.
We'll be pretty good.
Yeah. You still gotta actually stop this heist from
I want to
happening.
break
Mhm.
into a place.
Well, that'll probably happen. After all, we have to do reconnaissance. Maybe fix make it look like the spells are broken, but actually you repair them.
Mm.
Yeah. So until next week, right? We're back on for next week.
Yeah.
Or weekly.
Yeah.
All right. Well then. Also, besides R&D, who set up a great session, thank you to my fellow players for such a fun time.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
until next time, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from the party. Say goodbye, party.
Goodbye, party.
Bye, party.
They did the bit.
Woo.
Okay.